Looks like we're actually going to be getting right underway on Oregon. We're going to be having Devious going up against Motiv8 on map number 1, which is Oregon.
Yes, indeed. And here we go. The first Oregon of the day. You know, we talk about saying border and Oregon, especially in NA, all the time, which is absolutely true. Nice that we're not being forced to see multiples of said maps here today. But we're going to get started on Oregon. Motiv8's going to be on defense. Devious is going to be on attack. Each team will be on said roll for 5 consecutive rounds before switching over. And an interesting lineup on defense. Very dorms, of course. I mean, the Capkin, the Vigil. Got to wait and see what they have planned for this particular lineup. They got the Castle in as well. A little bit interesting. I kind of want to see what it looks like when it progresses a little deeper into the round.
One thing I touched on the CNC Devious match last week was Devious were bringing a decent amount of soft destruction, which they are also currently doing here in Twix and Anthony on the Ashe and Zofia. However, they weren't utilizing it to its full effect. They weren't getting any vertical clearing done. They weren't breaching from below. Billboard looked like he wanted to go for an aggressive peek out the front door. He's going to board that back up after getting droned out. Something that Devious really needed to work on was implementing their full strategy on attack, implementing their full clear, instead of getting caught up with the objective. Because every time they tried to gun everyone on CNC, especially on Oregon, they tried to run and gun against CNC, and that's not what you want to do on attack. On defense, it's fine to take the position to advantage as far as aggression goes and pick your spots to strike, but on attack, they were failing pretty heavily on a proper roam clear and utilizing that soft destruction to manipulate the map in their advantage. This time around, I want to see them implement more of that.
Yes, indeed. So, about 40 seconds into the round, some drones going out. Not a lot of map control underway yet for the attackers. They're just going to kind of peek in and spread out around the map. Thermite trying to see if he can ascertain any information here in Armory. I'm not seeing a whole lot. Yeah, I guess there is a whole lot of defenders kind of hanging out around site, but there are some in the 3-story tower as well. Some rappelling going on by the attackers all around the site. Jay will get into main hallway with that thermite and approach this master bedroom, signaling to his teammates that it's ready to go. He'll start putting up the thermite just right away, not seeing the battery. He'll do it again. He'll take about 15 points of damage from that shock wall. He'll call out to his teammates, hey, I need some help with these batteries.
Yeah, Twix will go below, use that soft destruction vertically like I talked about, and now breaching open the master closet is Jay on the thermite. Taking an angle aggressively in towards that typical placement of the kid's mirror being banned out, so now it's just a soft wall, and Twix checking attic once again. No defender station inside of attic to cut that down, but being wary of it. The back of the walls have been reinforced. Now Motiv8 are going to have to go for a retake with a minute left as Devious have established full control around the objective. They just need to start pushing and start going for a plant. However, Cookies is going to cut down Detox as he tries to come down main hallway. Zofia, lifeline stun grenade is going to be coming out, disorienting Talon up at the pixel spot by Big Window. A rush in by Twix going to get shut down. Now a 3v5. Devious had a wonderful start, but they're dying quickly. Jay will trade one back, but Talon's going to pick up a double kill. Billboard is going to gun down Judo, rushing in through the closet wall. And it is all, or no, Billboard had taken a kill down below in Classroom, sorry.
Oh my goodness, that recoil.
Yeah, the SMG-12 is an interesting weapon to use. Great control there by Billboard, and Devious had a wonderful start to that round, and then the retake from Motiv8. Overwhelming.
Yeah, and since you are, I call you the patch wizard, right? The patch encyclopedia. There's an incoming, what I understand to be a nerf coming out for the SMG-12. Has that hit with the latest sub patch, or is that coming in a future patch?
No, that is not live currently. So on the TCS, there is an experiment. We actually don't have confirmation yet if it's going live. We have confirmation of the echo buff from the TTS and all that spectator and UI implementation that we saw. Right. However, we don't have confirmation on the SMG secondary nerf, which was we're going to give a crap ton of recoil to every secondary SMG in the game. It basically made the SMG-12 I don't want to say not usable, but it'll put you in the ceiling in about 3 shots.
Yeah, and also the Bearing 9 getting nerfed too. So, well, you know, again, if it actually ends up happening.
Yeah.
But a downstairs defense now coming out. A lot of members of the team have gone off-site, but not a whole lot of reinforcements going on in Meeting Hall. They have reinforced the 2 little soft walls on either side of the entrance in the Meeting Hall facing the main lobby, but the rear stage as well as the kitchen remains unreinforced. I'm not sure if they managed to deploy anything up in the attic. Cookie's just running back down from up there. And again, a lot of deployment taking place right now in Meeting Hall by the defense. A couple of the remaining defenders now back on site, finishing up, rounding out the end of their defensive setup as we are now 30 seconds into the round. And, you know, we're so used to the last game where 30 seconds in we'd see at least 1 kill. It's interesting to be back seeing, you know, normal competitive Siege take place again.
Looks going to be breaching the bottom of White stairs, and he's going to be trying to locate Kush as he has those mute jammers to help dissuade those drones from entering in. He takes an aggressive angle on the right side of the door as he crosses. Twix wasn't taking the angle, but a pixel angle, a wonderful lineup. Kush going to fall first on behalf of Motiv8 at the hands of Twix. Now, a minute deep, there's our first kill. I'm also interested by all of the Capcan that Cookies is playing. He's been going back-to-back rounds with it now, and we saw Capcan a little bit, and as I said, he's looking up to the hatch. Billboard will cover for him as Cookies was missing his shots. And now a classroom hold by Jay on the Thatcher will trade Billboard out. You still have Cookies to deal with inside of Meeting. Talon is rotated all the way to the top stairs, so it's just Book alone on site as that smoke, and no Mira. In a tough spot as the main hatch gets breached open. Minute 30, Diffuser inside a classroom, ready for a pickup by an attacker. It's exactly what happens. Anthony can recover. Midway through the round, they still have to worry about this roam game. Cookie's going to cut down Jay, and as he goes to rotate down Anthony with a wonderful trade back. It's just Talon now who was on that roam game. I think he's gone all the way above to go for a flank. If not, he's gone back down the tower stairs. A free play smoke canister going to get spotted by Anthony. Talon going to level up man count as he gets downed, but he will finish off Detox. It's now 1v2 for Book. The smoke alone inside a closet, no Mira, but this is still doable. He's going to notice that his pre-play smoke canister is gone. They have the Valk camera in the cupboard just to the right of Book's holographic sight. Judo breaching the back meeting hatches to maybe prep for a back drop. Either drop for the attack. Book is still in a good position here. He has that SMG-11. He has the smoke canisters. The Valk cam's going to get spotted out by Anthony as he's pressing down the main stairs. There's no smokes on behalf of Devious. They're going to start pushing in for the plant, though. And behind the washing machine and Book, going to be launching the smoke canister wide right. The plant is going to go down in behind the laundry machine. Finished off. The smoke canister detonates in behind the laundry machine. And Judo with a wonderful turn and pre-fire. Book walks straight into it. And Devious going to tie things up 1-1.
That was a great pre-fire. That was beautifully executed. Poor Capcan, poor slow Capcan got a kill and tried to take off. Unfortunately, wasn't able to make it to the hatch in time. I think that would have changed the round a lot, but so far, so good. A round apiece here on Oregon, map number 1, and still anybody's game as everybody's been playing some pretty well-rounded Siege. A couple of mistakes here and there, but overall, a very standard-ish game that we've seen so far, as is kind of the norm here on Oregon. At least standard-ish, knowing that the Mira is gone.
Yeah, the Mirror being gone is a huge detriment to the defensive side defending downstairs. We haven't seen it really affect anything topside. I think the win rates are still pretty congruent with how we've seen upstairs holds with a Mirror. It's the downstairs defense that really have to start challenging yourself on and challenging the opponents on. And that's what Motiv8 did. They played an aggressive roam game inside of meeting and top floor. Kush, unfortunately, trying to take an angle against the Ash laying prone on White stairs. Twix just really good pre-aim. And Kush was the first domino to fall. Motiv8 trades back a couple of good kills, but they really needed that top floor presence. I think if Talon, instead of going into meeting for that flank, he did claim a victim inside of meeting, but instead of going for that flank in a 2v3 situation, if he come down the main stairs, I don't think anyone on behalf of Devious would have been expecting it, and he could have possibly grabbed 2 in the process instead of 1. And then the problem with being the smoke downstairs in the pantry for Book is there's no mirror. There's no visibility. He had no idea the plant was coming down. Probably heard it a little too late in his way through the smoke canister. He also didn't know where to throw the smoke canister because there's no sight line into C.
Yeah. Well, here we go. Round number 3 underway. Still, again, 30 seconds into the round. The attackers taking their time, gathering as much intel as possible. They will push to the closet. However, this time, no bandit to try and do any tricking. Tal will get the first kill with that mute MP5K onto Twix. So that is the Ash off the board first again. Billboard on this vigil, be roaming in the back of Meeting Hall. Jay, the Nadokabi knows he's nearby, but he will zip that lineup. No drone coming in at the feet of Billboard while he's having to recharge that ERC-7. He will just kind of maintain as he hears some attackers nearby. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, some gunfire going on the outside of Armory as the attackers are kind of zipping up. One appears to be outside on the master balcony as well. And about half the round gone. Only one of the roamers having been spotted and or dealt with. Not really. I mean, they spotted him but got the adverse side of said trade. And the attackers seemingly not much going on as they finally make a push into master.
Attempting to thermite the closet wall. It's muted. There's no way to get rid of those mute jammers. No soft, sorry, they do have detox on the buck, so they could go below, but they have to worry about that kitchen hole by Kush, who's playing with an aggressive angle towards the main lobby in the classroom hall. Talon looking down below through that hole made previously by the Ash charge of Twix, and Nitro going to come out, but it will be Kush claiming the life of detox. That buck going below, trying to stop these mute jammers. It's a 3v5 now for Devious. Anthony to claim one. That's Talon falling through the smoke. Cookie sends the pre-fires, unable to land the shots. Back and forth, both missing. Now Anthony proning in through the toxic bag. Gonna walk all the way up the white stairs. He spots Cookies, drops him down, goes for the flick towards Kids, but Kush on a flank comes up behind, drops Jay. And now he gets traded back out by Judo. His friend Anthony has now been down in the main hallway. Billboard coming for a flank. Book holding steady. Going through the rotate of Kids, now playing Pixel, and now rushing in. Billboard cleans up Anthony, who is down in the hallway. It's all up to Judo now in a 1v2 with Diffuser, and now Book on the other side of the rotation. Judo giving away his position, looking down the hallway, but Book, the flanker from in behind the dresser, a big window, removes Judo from play. Motiv8 gonna take a 2-1 lead off of 2 wins topside on defense.
Yeah, 2 consecutive upstairs wins here on Oregon by Motiv8. So they're not having any problem going mirrorless up top. Downstairs, they didn't find much success. They kind of took a lot of utility into Meeting, and they held it for a long time, even though the attackers didn't push very hard into Meeting. I think they got a little bit aggressive at times and got some of their roamers upstairs picked off, and that was their major malfunction on their basement defense last time. I think this time we ought to see more of the defense stay down at the bottom, down on site, and maybe a little bit more cover utility put for the roamers upstairs.
Well, the Valkyrie being brought out again from Talon. His initial Valcam placements were spotted out pretty effectively by Devious. I imagine he'll be swapping those up. A deployable shield already placed down in the main hallway by Billboard. I imagine there's no ACOG on the board, so I have no idea who's going to be playing that. That's typically an ACOG spot. You're going to drop that deployable so your feet can't be shot from the main lobby hatch, and you're going to take an ACOG and position yourself to battle it out with anyone coming down the main stairs. Cookie's still sticking to the cap can. It's 4 rounds in a row. I'm a little... I'm impressed. I haven't seen many of the EDDs go off yet, so I don't know if he's just trying to use it for intel purposes and not really concerned about the damage they can do. But if you're unaware, and I mean Devious, typically a team that we've seen be a little more aggressive, a little lax in the drone game, and their roam clear being a little subpar thus far, it could catch a lot of people off guard and give you a market advantage trying to take those gunfights, especially when you're at range with the SMGs. There's no ACOGs on the board for the defense, a rare scene to see on Oregon as well. The information just by hearing that EDD go off, you know, you've got the Gersmont mines on Ella, you've got the Valcams as well. There's a lot of information at the disposal of the defenders to locate attackers pushing in.
Yeah, I was going to touch on the fact that Cappy didn't deploy any of the entry denial in the prep phase. He was actually just kind of on the drone hunt, seemingly looking for drones all over the place. But he'll drop down to site and deploy them all on and around site, even though the attackers did push from the main stairs. Kush will get the opening kill with the headshot on the Detox. That's a Twitch down. Twitch a very interesting pick. Obviously no mirrors to take out for that Twitch. So kind of wondering whether or not maybe some smoke grenades or something to assist the plant might have been more useful. Either way, she will get removed first as the main lobby hatch gets open. An angle from the main lobby by the Thatcher will miss. That wall was soft. He didn't opt to push it. Oh, no, it wasn't soft. It was reinforced. He'll push it. He'll get one. He'll get some bullets down on to another, but Billboard will stop Jay from approaching any further. But it is now a 3v4 in favor of the defenders. Still about half the round to go. Judo will get one, evening out the odds. There's another one upstairs. He'll pull out the bearing 9 and headshot Cookies. Unfortunate for the defense, as it is now flopped in favor of the attackers.
Minute left in the round, like you talked about. Billboard finally able to execute that drop through box to come back to sites. Now they have the 2v3. They have the 2 men on site. Book still has all 3 of his smoke canisters, I believe. And now, once again, it's up to Devious to decide where they want to go. No smoke cover once again. And all 3 attackers are going to be congregated on the main stairs, trying to come down. The first smoke canister is going to go off and dispel the initial push and plant by Judo. He's taking a little bit of damage from that smoke canister on the main stairs. The concussion mine is being launched up by Anthony. Makes it in. Another smoke canister going to be stopping the push downstairs. He's going to launch out the third, and it's not going to be hitting Judo as he's inside the smoke. He's going to finish that plant in behind the washing machine. The rush out from Billboard is going to claim Judo, leveling up man count now to 2v2.
Just a little bit too late, though, as the diffuser does go down. Billboard will push out, as will Book on that smoke. They hear him above. They have not started peeking yet from above, though. They are waiting to hear the signs of the diffuser being hit. One peeking that window. Twix will take Book's head off. Only Billboard now. They see the bullets coming up through the hatch. Billboard will run to the top of the stairs, but the Twix with that Ash will be waiting. With that R4C, he'll take his head off as well. And now Devious winning both downstairs attacks. Motiv8 winning both upstairs defenses. And it looks like we're going to go back up top for what could be Motiv8's last defense. Will definitely be their last defense before they swap to attack for 5 rounds.
Couple of points I want to touch on for Motiv8 here. Number 1 is the lack of the ability to stop the plant coming in behind washing machine. I get that you're in a tough position. You're down a man, you're defending downstairs without a mirror. That's fine. The one swap I would make is, instead of having Talon, who was previously playing the Valkyrie, now playing Mute, on that last round, I would have Talon, instead of playing inside of Attic and going for that roam, because he has that Nitro Cell, I would opt for him to be the one playing close meeting on box hatch, have Billboard go upstairs with that assault rifle to challenge anyone coming from the Kids or Armory or Master side through that rotation into Attic. Take that assault rifle topside, make Billboard go frag instead of using the MPX to try and dispel the roam clear, and keep that Nitro safe so that you can drop box hatch and take down that planter in behind washing machine. Right now, it's all up to Book to try and do it alone with those smoke canisters. He's missing his shots as well with the smoke canisters. He's throwing them long, he's throwing them wide. He needs to get it right up against the edge of the washing machine, and it's a hard thing to do in a quick flick when you're worried about someone covering from the stairs, but as a smoke player, it's what you need to do. It's what you're expected to do to hit your throws with smoke canisters. So I think if Motiv8 do end up heading downstairs on a defense and say overtime if necessary, the first thing I would do is opt to make sure that you have a Nitro Cell at your disposal downstairs late game, and also make sure just Book's hitting his smoke canisters.
Yeah, and I agree with that, and I think maybe one of the issues might be the side of that closet wall that they're reinforcing. Might be a little bit easier to throw from the other side, but I guess it's all relative to the practice type and style and regimen of the defender. So one will be right outside of this window, very aggressive angle into the small dorm. Will be very interesting. Some windows will get punched down by the bus window. Jay watching his back there. A lot of nothing going on. I don't think any of the attackers are in the building yet, as the master bedroom window will get open. The closet wall will actually get thermited open. He'll run back out to safety to hold an angle, make sure he doesn't get pushed in the meantime.
Jay gonna grab Kush. Cookie's gonna trade it right back. Talon trying to go for a run at the tower doorway. So a trade coming out. You lose the Ella and the Ash in the trade. Not a bad trade to pull out midway through the round. Cookie's still playing inside of this hallway, trying to get aggressive. And now Jay has gone for the repel on the generator window. Not a typical repel spot you see. Anthony gonna be droning in Judo as that thermite is trying to push in through master closet. Jay still repelled. He's gonna head to the roof, try and obtain a new angle in towards Cookies, who, if Jay had dropped connector window, Cookies would be in a world of hurt between a multiple crossfire. Now pre-fire's coming out. Cookies Gonna end the run of Jay as that's the thermite off the board. He already got the wall opened up. Now the nitro coming out, but through the smoke, Anthony gonna shut him down before the detonation. Rushing in through the smoke are both Judo and Anthony. And now Talon needs to be coming up for the flank. Billboard over an armory. The plant is going to start going down inside of dorms and generator. And now Judo's going to try and stick this. And he's going to get it as the smoke canister not doing any damage to him. He backs out cleanly. Plant gets down. And now it'll start doing some damage. Billboard going to claim Judo onto the flank. Talon drops Anthony. Now it's all down to Detox trying to come up the armory stairs. He grabs Billboard, but he's way out of range of that diffuser. Starting to hit it now is Book covering his Talon, rushing into the closet. Talon rips up Detox, and that'll be a 3-2 advantage heading to the second half for Motiv8.
So 3 wins up top for Motiv8, 2 losses downstairs. Still keeps it 3-2 as the roles are beginning to switch now. And interesting game so far. A lot of some good plays on both sides of the fence, but it's kind of the teams now at the mercy of this map with no Mira, kind of going the way that you might expect it to go, especially when you see some high-level teams play and somebody will win defense but lose attack in the old format, back and forth, back and forth. It's kind of like that, but instead of with flipping sides, it's kind of flipping the defensive holes, the defensive spots. In which case, we've been going back and forth. So now we'll see if Motiv8 can find some success on attack, and conversely, Devious, they can find some success on defense to try and win multiple sites or multiple attacks back to back.
Fuse and Finka coming out on the attacking lineup on behalf of Billboard and Talon, respectively. Interesting decision. I wonder. I mean,
if it's a Fuse shield, probably. It's
that could be it. Could be some little bit of the sipping on OJ special. Yeah, it is a Fuse shield. PMM.
Yes,
okay,
indeed,
taking a page out of the dexterity book. I like it. I like it.
It's interesting. It's different. Blitz is banned, so if a shield was a part of their normal attack, then heck of a time to bring out somebody that can fill in the shoes of Blitz. Of course, you don't have the flash, so you can't necessarily get in a close one-on-one engagement as easily as you can with Blitz, but then you have the added utility of the Fuse cluster charges, which are, seemingly useful on this particular bomb site.
Quick spot out by Judo up top of White Stairs. He's going to spot Billboard coming into the hallway aggressively as he was Finka boosted. First one's about to wear off as he's pushing the hallway. The smoke canister can go off and dispel very early. 40 seconds deep, you got your first canister going out by Anthony. Billboard's kind of stuck waiting it out inside of Master. Still plenty of time on the board for the attack to clear this out. A little bit of a roam game happening downstairs in kitchen, as I imagine there'll be flanks coming up both stairwells. Anthony and Jay, stacked inside of kids, trying to dispel this push down hallway. They still have to worry about breaching open the master closet as the first Thatcher EMP will go out from Book to remove any bandit charges on that wall. Got Detox and Twix downstairs as possibly 2 nitro cells on the board. The wall will get breached open into kids. The entire floor has been ripped open below as well. It's going to make it a little more difficult to plant if perhaps the Valkyrie or bandit opt to rotate over. Push clearing out all the barbed wire now, launching in some more stun grenades from his lifeline. Twix going to be going for that rotation now below. Same with Detox. And now pushing in is Billboard, that Fuse shield. PMM, I don't think he's been, there is no Finka boost active currently. He's probably going to be emulating the Blitz operator video, rushing in and trying to ADS as fast as possible onto anyone in sight.
Yep, so a lot more of those lifeline stuns coming out. The attackers will flood into the small dorms. Jay will get a kill with that MP5. The plant will go down. Twix will get a kill. Anthony and Judo all finding kills. A 5v1 now as they completely cleared out all of the attackers that pushed into the small dorms. And that will be a very quick retake from the defense as the attackers having nowhere to kind of rotate and go. Kind of a little bit of a cluster, in the middle of that small dorm. A little bit too much of the attackers being bunched up.
Yeah, I was hoping to see more effect out of that Billboard Fuse shield, and yeah, he just got nitroed from below pretty quickly as soon as he walked into generator. He was trying to push towards White Stairs, which would have been a good call. He had the smoke cover to make a clean break for them. And especially considering Judo, I believe, got 3 frags in that flurry. That would have been a crucial pick to garner the Nitro below. It was the Valkyrie that downed him and was later killed off, I believe, by Judo, cleaned him up on the floor after wildly spraying in through those smokes. Kush tries to come and fill in, but I mean, at that point, everyone's been gunned down from multiple angles. Something I would like to see from Motiv8 next round is definitely a more poignant roam clear, trying to get rid of that double possible Nitro. I didn't see if Bandit had a Nitro or not last time, but possible double Nitro roam downstairs in kitchen, because all the anchors upstairs on site had freedom to stay where they wanted. There was no displacement of those anchors. They had perfect angles they wanted to hold. They held their angles. They got their kills. Like, to be able to properly push in through the hallway and the dorms like that, you need to make sure that none of those defenders inside of kids or playing pixel at big window or playing white stairs have the freedom to sit where they want. You need to make life hell for them. You need to push them out of their preferred spots and catch them on bad rotations. It's the whole point of going in below, and we didn't see any of that from Motiv8.
No, we did not. So tied up now 3-3, a very fast defensive lineup coming as I believe all 2 and 3 speed operators being picked. They will not go and contest the meeting hall. They will instead go and contest the upstairs. So we'll have to see if the attack, which seemingly is coming from 3-story, is even going to cross paths with the roamers upstairs. They will push in and take a meeting hall unresisted. There is a little bit of a rotate hole between kitchen that they're going to have to be aware of, but no defenders in the immediate vicinity to give them any flack as they decide to open up now both meeting hall hatches. Twix is pushed up to the opening of meeting hall. He'll throw a couple of bullets towards the Jackal, but not connect with any of them. And now it's kind of a standoff as the hatches in meeting hall have been opened.
Looks like Motiv8 attempting to go for a back push. Kush can be holding flank. Just spots the head of Kush to Twix. Unable to pull the trigger and land that shot, but he's got a friend coming in Detox. He's just going to be dropped downstairs. The aggression coming out. Billboard going to try and fill in and support Kush on holding meeting as the rest of the attack progresses downstairs. They're breaching open the construction wall with the Hibana charges. A breach charge coming out on the soft wall in red. Now trying to garner an angle on anyone playing where a typical mirror would be facing the back is Cookies. He's got a nice pixel angle, nice and tight, and Cookies using that angle will drop Jay, now pushing into construction. The asphyxiating bolt's going to be coming out to a hallway by Talon, and reciprocation to Toxic Babe being thrown out by Anthony. Still a 4v5. The defense going to have to be going for this flank as it's all to Detox and Twix to come in and support those anchors and catch these attackers rushing into the back off guard.
Yeah, so the Pulse getting taken off the board, only 47 seconds, and now the attackers are dropping into the back of site. There's a detection outside, but that won't matter as the attackers are now solely focused onto the site with the Bearing 9. Cookies will drop Anthony. The diffuser will go down. A flurry of trades as Detox gets Kush. Talon will get one. Detox will trade back with a double kill. Cookies will trade him out, and now it's a 1v3 as Twix makes his way back onto site. The diffuser's down. He's in the middle of B. He sees the diffuser, but where are the 3 remaining attackers? Nowhere to be found. They're spread out waiting for the audio cue that diffuser's getting hit, playing Ring Around the Rosie with 3 different attackers, and finally, somebody able to take the last defender out. That will be Twix getting headshot by Book. Oh, and a fantastic job. And now we're just, like we were before, we're going tit for tat back and forth. Nobody seemingly pulling away.
So I'll give Motiv8 credit where credit is due. They identified the roam game coming out from Devious was going to be upstairs in kids. They wanted to duo roam with the Vigil and the Bandit of Twix and Detox. Twix and Detox did a good job of coming back and actually acquiring some picks after the plant was down. But attempting that retake too late put them in a bad spot. The attackers had already established some pretty good angles to hold on any kind of flanks downstairs or coming through hatches. And it was just a gong show at that point with trade outs. And honestly, I feel like Motiv8 did a wonderful job of picking where they wanted to attack. They knew that there was going to be this hard roam game, and there was no rotation set up to come back from the master side top floor. They'd have to go through the meeting, which Kush and Billboard were holding promptly Kush inside of meeting on the right double door, and then Billboard outside of the main door holding flank behind White Van. There was no real way for those roamers to get back, and that's why you saw Detox go for a run outside. He goes for a jog across that same window. We saw Rainbow Ninja clutch out with a 4K wall detected outside. That same alleyway across to the top of Armory Stairs is what he used to rotate back, and that's the position they were in. So Motiv8 obtaining the information they needed, identifying that the roam game was going to be too far off to come for a flank, going for a back push, which is something we don't see pretty much ever anymore, unless there's a specific reason for it. Maybe the double meeting reinforced hatches, or there's no roam presence at all, or there are just simple cues that you see that really just don't find their way onto Oregon anymore with a Mira in play, and now without that Mira holding the attackers at bay, coming in from behind, it was an easy back push.
You know, so far today we haven't seen Lion banned out once, I don't believe, at least in North America, and yet he wasn't picked that much, as Book will take out. What, are they already in, kids?
Yeah.
So trades are going back and forth. Kush, Book, Talon, all getting kills. And the play, like just like you said, the Fuser is down, Talon in too. They kind of finkered their way in. Cookies will get it, and they storm site before the defense or even you and I, Flynn, realize what was hitting the upstairs. And, you know, we talked about this last time, is we usually see one of those from Motiv8 where they just kind of, you know, blitzkrieg the site and try to take it before. And to be honest, it usually happens downstairs. This time they did it upstairs, and boy, howdy, was it effective.
Again, I'm going to give Motiv8 credit where credit's due. They identified that nobody was covering big window at all in the defense last time upstairs. So they just sent everyone in through it. They put the line on repel on kids. A couple people hop in through big window, completely decimate the anchors holding on site completely off guard. And they put it to match point. I mean, it's not something you'd see very often. Like you said, we usually see one of them, but that's it. We see one and we're done. And I imagine that'll be the case here. I don't think that Motiv8 are going to be going for it. They're going for an entirely new op lineup. So I guess Strat 45 was effective this time around. Honestly, good identification of the weaknesses. They're making Devious pay for their mistakes, which is something we didn't really see in our first matchup. With Dexterity really having a lot of flaws in their setup, taking too long, making simple mistakes, and yet they weren't punished for it. This time around, Devious are being punished for their simple mistakes by Motiv8.
Absolutely, absolutely. But still a potential lot of play to go. Remember, the Devious is only 2 down. This is map number 1. This is a best-of-3 series. So this will be Motiv8's first attempt on match point, and a completely different lineup coming out. IQ, Ying, the Thermite Thatcher combo, and of course the Monty. They brought the Monty before, but last time it wasn't super effective. And Cookies with the Claymore will get Jay on the jump out, I think, on the bathroom window. Not sure exactly. Yep. Yes, indeed it was. Or no, it was the hallway window, the white stairs window. Either way, he will get eliminated. Detox will jump out of the same window, and he will manage to pick up Book. So a double jump out. Judo will get one of his own onto Talon. Not sure where that took place either. Full master bedroom control by the attackers. They still have the breaching potential, but no way now to remove the batteries off of the closet wall unless they send one of their teammates to the window to try and shoot them.
Match are going to be falling just short by Detox in the hallways. The Montaigne of Billboard, a clear distraction for the defense, and the Montaigne is going to be going for the roam clear. Detox going to have to back off down the bathroom hallway. He's going to rotate all the way to White Stairs and go back to site. He's not dealing with that anymore, as he doesn't have that nitro to use from below anymore. Billboard attempting to go for a clear downstairs. There's actually a defender had rotated down. He's gone hallway, looking up to the hatch. Kush able to land a couple shots on the leg, but not able to finish off Twix, that bandit that had rotated down. Judo with a tight angle at the top of White Stairs, through a couple punch holes, looking at doorway, as now smoke grenades being caught by the ADSs. The last smoke grenade will be launched out, and they're going to try and go for a rush plant with Candelas, and that Monty inside smoke canister and reciprocation sprays coming out from Kush, but he's unable to secure the kill on the Judo. The smoke canister will finally finish off Cookies and down him, finish him off. Now it's all up to Billboard with no breached closet, down to about 5 HP. Nothing to do here but wiggle back and forth, trying to get a couple kills to pad the stats. I highly doubt that the 1v4 is possible in this scenario. as he's just sending some shots to the wall, responding to the shots coming back at him inside of Master. He's going to go for the vault down below. As he has to reacquire the diffuser and go hallway if he's going to pull this off at all. Spots Twix, and Twix is going to do a good job of baiting him in, as I imagine other teammates going to be coming for the flank. Billboard going to give chase, rushing down the main stairs, and Twix has gone for a full rotation into Laundry. Billboard going to give up the chase, going to head back upstairs. He's getting shot at, I believe, through the floor. And now Twix coming back up the main stairs. They're both trying to secure a kill onto each other to pad the stats. Now drops hatch on him, trying to get him. The knife's coming back and forth, unable to land. What is happening? And now he'll just stand there and accept death. Twix will fall. Billboard going to pad the stats at least once. He needs to stay on the main stairs. Be gone, exclaims Talon in chat. And now another one rushes on over as the round expires. We're heading to round number 10.
Yes, we are indeed, and this will be the last opportunity for Motiv8 to close this out without going into overtime. A little bit of stat padding, like you said, going on at the end of that round. But here we go into round number 10. A very, very successful rush take by Motiv8 the prior round, but a not-so-successful push as the aggressiveness from Devious, a double jump out on the window, will kick things off and start the elimination of Motiv8's attacking lineup. So a little bit of a change. The IQ coming back. No Thermite this time, so we'll be attacking the basement. The Hibana instead, the Zofia, and of course the Capital, indicative of a plant on main stairs, which we both touched on many times, is much more difficult to do, much more difficult to pinpoint those crucial plant-stopping smoke canisters when there's no Mira to assist your aim.
Yeah, it really is difficult to play this kind of setup downstairs without the Mira. The one successful really iteration of a defensive hold downstairs without the Mira that we saw last week was, I believe it was Polar Ace heading for the full turtle strat downstairs, playing 5 on site, reinforcing all hatches, no roam game whatsoever, just bringing a crap ton of nitro cells, some smoke canisters, and the Ella Gersmont mines to keep launching out to stall out the plant. That was kind of the only like truly consistently successful game plan we saw come into play and actually get some wins downstairs on defense without a Mira. And I think Devious is trying to emulate that a little bit here. We got a couple on site as Judo hasn't gone for a roam game yet, but as I say, that 2 defenders rotate topside to meeting, and we're going to be looking at a little bit more of a meeting roam this time, as I imagine Devious are anticipating more of the same from Motiv8 going for that back push.
Yep, a little bit different in the way that they're going to defend. Remember, they tried doing that upstairs on the other side. This time they're going to go to tower, but surprisingly enough, it looks like the attackers are going to actually attack on the other side of the map where they roamed the last time. They will be holding this little bullet hole angle all the way through attic, anticipating that they might indeed do that. I don't know if that was a coincidence or if the drones detected them over there and they decided to push from the other side. Either way, Zofia and IQ both will get lit up in the cross through the attic there. Judah will get the first kill on the book. That is the Thatcher off the board. So a 4v5, although 2 of those attackers very lit. Still half the round to work with. Twix will get shot up through that soft attic wall. He'll opt to rotate back downstairs, as they've already managed to waste half the round.
Half the round deep. Twix gonna have to play Harry Potter as that castle barricade is halting him from getting in. He's gonna be prepping the castle barricade to be destroyed with an 11 hit instead of tearing it down. Fascinating choice, but nonetheless, the attack from Motiv8 a little spread out right now. Kush holding the back stairs, making sure no one can rotate up, and then Talon and Cookies holding the front side down, as it looks like they want to go for a front plant. They do have the smoke cover with Talon's smoke bolts on the crossbow, clearing out the Hibana charges on that reinforced wall of closet was the impact grenade of Jay. Still at a man disadvantage, but they try to push downstairs. Smoke canisters coming out, and the plant trying to be stuck inside the smoke. Not going to happen for Cookies. Kush will drop Twix in hallway in reciprocation, but Judo will trade it right back out. Kush falls upstairs. It's the flank hold. Cookies will fall to Anthony as well. Now it's all up to Talon and Billboard in a 2v4 to close this out, or we'll be heading to overtime. Billboard claims one. That's Anthony falling off the board, and they don't have any more smoke cover on the utility of Talon. Recovering the diffuser is Billboard. They're going to have to go for a front push. Talon actually angling like he wants to go for a back clear, as they do have the hallway meeting hatch open. Billboard joining him. 15 seconds on the board, and they're taking way too long. They're wary of one inside of Attic. Not seeing the head, but a great flick by Billboard to level up Mancat now in a 2v2. Talon and Billboard going to simultaneously drop the hatch. Coming in through hallway, Judo and Jay going to grab one apiece. We're heading to overtime on Oregon.
We're heading into overtime, a.k.a. Flynn's favorite thing.
Yeah.
He's got a little bit of PTSD. Those of you that aren't familiar with CCS, we had the longest competitive match in Siege history, being 32 rounds long. Of course, I was there with you. But, you know, I had fun. But Flynn trying to avoid doing that again tonight, as are both of these teams. I don't think either one of these teams want to end up going there. But if it can be avoided, so be it. Just a real quick interim while the timer counts down. I've been informed that we have hit 100,000 total views on CCS eSports here on Twitch. So thank you, all of you fans out there that like to tune in and watch. We really, really appreciate you guys being here. And if you like what you see, make sure you hit that follow button. But here we go into round number 1 of overtime. For those that aren't familiar with the CCS rules, this is only the second week, so I still do like to reiterate that in overtime, instead of swapping every 5 rounds, we will be swapping every 2 rounds. That is from attack to defense and vice versa. And then, of course, you must win by 2, and overtime will go forever until somebody manages to achieve just that.
So heading to the defense are Devious and similar op lineups. The Pulse coming out instead of the Castle on B. No, it was the Rook, sorry, from Devious that they were opting to play originally. Now pulling out the Pulse. So now they have a possibility of 3 Nitro cells on the board if Twix opted to bring one. It didn't actually catch last time around, but it was the Nitro cells from below stopping that shield rush twice in a row by Billboard. The first round it happened, it downed him inside a generator. The second time, it just pushed him back a little bit further. It didn't take any damage off him, but it really dispelled his eagerness to try and rush in. Jay standing in the middle of the bottom of the White Stairs window, and he'll get shut down by Book. A great reactionary shot to run Jay out of town. And now another jump out. Detox can claim the victim of Kush. Book will trade it back onto Detox. And now these jump outs, again, having a lot of success for Devious, just running out like monkeys with their heads cut off out of those 2 windows in Showers and the bottom of White. But if it's getting kills, then it's getting kills. And a minute now passing on the board as the breach hole will get opened up inside a dorm's closet.
I've never heard that one, monkeys with their heads cut off. I've heard chickens. Monkeys is a first for me. Yeah, 2 on either side getting eliminated. Billboard will back off as he's done his job, moving anything, stopping the thermite. And a blind flyer through the window by Billboard will actually take the life of Anthony. Twix getting a refrag, though. Talon getting a kill of his own. It's a 1v3 now. Judah's going to have to clutch this out if he wants to take the first round of overtime versus 3 full health attacking operators and still a minute and 20 to work with. He'll shoot through a little pre-made punch hole there in the cabinet. Will not connect any of those bullets. They know where he is, and now he's getting pinched. One circling the main window, opening it up. He is still holding steadfast, and through the smoke will get a kill onto Cookies. Somehow the bullets through the mattress will miss him. He will watch that main window, and Talon will finish it up, getting the headshot on to Judo as he believed he was still pinched. And that will be Motiv8 taking round number 1, and that punch hole that he made will end up being his demise. Motiv8 taking round 1 of OT, and we'll have another chance here at match point.
Yeah, Motivated a couple chances there, up 5-3, then 5-4, and Devious able to clutch both of those out, push it to overtime, but once again, backs against the wall. Successful take topside, and after a couple of successes on either bomb site for Devious, I'm actually curious to see where they'll elect to go, whether they go back upstairs, having recently lost it, and most recently won downstairs, and they do elect to head back into Kids and small dorms to try and keep their hopes of winning map number 1, which is Oregon, alive. A reminder that if we do see the end of overtime here with Motiv8 capturing the final overtime round and taking their 2-round advantage, we'll be heading to our second map of Consulate once again. And if necessary, map number 3 will be Coastline. So I'm very interested to see Consulate between these two teams. I just feel like Devious isn't quite ready to head there just yet.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if we will see 3 maps all with overtime. I just like giving Flynn nightmares, folks. He's not a big fan of overtime just because of that one time. But anyway, here we go. Round number 2 of overtime. This is a win by 2. So Motiv8 have the opportunity to close it right here. This will be, of course, only map number 1 in this best of 3 series. But not if Detox can help it. He will get a kill in the first 12 seconds on the Book. Book getting eliminated first again. Book getting eliminated early again. And now the drones will come out as they have a lot of work ahead of them if they want to try and come back from this early round loss.
It's those jump outs once again. It was this time a run out by Detox out of garage and towards the street spawn. And if you're Motiv8, you kind of got to be anticipating it at this point. They've been doing it so many rounds in a row now. They did it on their final defensive round. They did it in the first overtime defensive round. This is nothing new. You got to be prepared for that if you're Motiv8, but a wonderful shot by Detox, I imagine, as Talon was the only one in view to cover him as well. Having that DMR, I want to be stacking a few more automatic weapons closer to each other if you are Motiv8 trying to get it a spawn. And as long as you can survive that early onset of aggression coming out those windows by Devious, you've been in a good position to win the round every time.
Yeah, so there's still one attacker way out trying to poke at that main window. Kush will get a kill as Twix tries to cross at a very bad time. So the numbers are now even, still half of the round to go. Some black eye searching outside as some of the attackers are getting pinged. All 4 of the defenders now stacked either in the main hallway. 3 in kids. They've got a black eye cam out to the northwest, so they will spot if anybody attempts to rotate. Billboard will get a kill. So now it's looking good for Motiv8 after losing Book so early. Still a lot of work ahead and a minute left to go and a ton of barbed wire. A smoke will go out from the Capital. The Glaz will push up, see if he can find somebody. He'll open up some sight lines, not find anybody yet. A nitro cell will go out and not connect. Judo, however, will get cookies, try to sneak in through the closet hole, holding this cheeky little angle from the top of white stairs. Tal will get him easily through the smoke. 2v3 now as the attackers progress ever so slowly towards the defenders.
Our problem here is they're laying down all the smoke, but Talon has the diffuser in hand, so they're not going to be able to see through anything while he's going for the plant, which he's trying to stick by connector window in the barbed wire and in the smoke. Rush is coming out from Anthony. The pre-fire is not going to land. Billboard guns him down as he's peeking the hallway. It's all up to Jay now in a 1v3. He's got Billboard at top white. Talon still ducked away inside the generator and push outside the connector window. Another smoke canister coming out as Talon will be able to see through that. Rips up Billboard on top white, but he's still got 2 to deal with in the middle of a crossfire, and Talon still has that ability to see through that dissipating smoke. Playing prone and now getting up off his prone hold inside. A drone coming in from Kush and get disabled by Jay. No nitro cell in hand, just the MPX and time ticking down against him. Holding the angle in the hallways. Talon, Kush playing it safe, not trying to get aggressive, and it'll be Talon peeking down the hallway to send Motiv8 to map number 2, up 1.
That was a great map, full of back and forth comebacks. Motiv8 started off with winning all of their upstairs defenses and losing all of their downstairs defense. And then when the side swapped, we saw a lot of the same. Maybe not necessarily on a particular site, but we saw a lot of back and forth that resulted in OT. Motiv8 able to close it out after getting the 5-3 lead early on. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will take a very short break while we wait for these teams to, I think one of them is having a little bit of an issue. Either way, we're going to take a really short 2-minute break. We'll put a timer up for you. We'll put some nice music on for you. And you guys stick around. We'll be back in just a minute. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for sticking it out with us. We are just making sure that the teams are readied up. What did you think about map number 1, Mr. Flynn?
Map number 1, again, an Oregon without Mira. Always a fascinating and close game because the downstairs is so difficult to defend. I think Motiv8 had a tough time dealing with Devious's aggression of constantly hopping out windows, which is something we're not going to see on Consulate. Most windows you try to jump out of on Consulate are a death sentence. You can't hop out, you can't secure a kill, but it's very difficult to then get back into the building. You're going to get detected. You're going to have to go for a jog to get back to any kind of safety. And Consulate, I imagine, is going to play very difficult for a team like Devious, who relied on that aggression to start them off strong on some rounds. And as I say that, we are getting underway with map number 2, Consulate, between Motiv8 and Devious, a map that I can very confidently give the advantage to Motiv8 on.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a lot of good play, and so should we. I mean, they just spent the last season in Pro League. Of course, they got relegated out, but that does not make them a bad team by any stretch of the imagination. They had a lot of roster issues and other things go on that kind of plague them via Pro League, but they've had these 5 guys, even though they're using 1 sub, they've had these 5 guys for at least a few weeks, maybe a month or 2 now. So they're finally kind of getting into a groove, should you say. And, of course, this level of play is a little bit less that than you would expect out of, something like Pro League, obviously. So, they're finding a pretty darn good groove here in a CCS, and they've been doing pretty darn good so far. I don't think they've dropped the map yet. Operator bans you just saw happen on the bottom right of your screen for this map will be Glaz, Blackbeard. We'll see Mira gone again, and Pulse being removed as well.
Pulse is a very key operator to lose on Consulate. It's a map that plays very vertically for the defenders to be able to ascertain that information and obtain some pretty crucial picks through the floor with nitro cells. I mean, Cookie's still bringing out that Valkyrie. However, I'm very hesitant to say that that losing the pulse won't matter. I think losing that pulse, losing that cardiac sensor, all that info, and losing that nitro cell from below is going to be a little tough on the defensive side for Motiv8 to start things out. However, on attack, I think that Devious just aren't as structured and as coordinated as Motiv8 are. I think Motiv8 of obviously being a Pro League team like you talked about, now in Challenger League after being relegated. However, they have that experience. They've put in a lot more time, I imagine, than Devious, and they just inherently will have more coordination. And Kush as well. I touched on it way back for the Canadian circuit for Northern Arena, back when he was playing for SCDX. Kush is a player who dominates on repel game. He is a master of being on repel when put in the proper position. So when it comes down to Motiv8's attack rounds, I imagine we'll be seeing a lot of kills from repel, or at least a lot of smart and just safe plays from Kush, and he'll probably be a nuisance for Devious to deal with.
Yeah, so Buck in that Visa lobby will start sending some buck shots up through the floor as his drones spot out. Not the entirety of that floor being destructible. Of course, a lot of cubicles and whatnot. Jay will get the opening kill onto Billboard. Something the Jaeger-Gone Legion also losing the overwhelming majority of his health. So Devious starting it off strong here on Consulate. Kush still running around like crazy upstairs. He will get actually grenaded up through the floor. Half of his health gone. Valk will take a little bit of damage from that too. He'll take some additional damage from the copy room window. The attacker's just kind of closing down on this defense. Anthony will get the kill of his own. So Castle and Legion both with just a tiny bit of health left. All of the attackers pretty healthy now. Tooks will take out one more. Kush will get down. It is only the smoke left. He will get 1 kill, but still a lot of people to kill if he wants to have any success on this round. Castle will stop him at the top of Spiral. He will decide to rotate instead to Yellow Stairs. Still a minute left, but the attackers fully in control of the upstairs. One right on the other side of the wall from him. He'll throw a smoke grenade out and set it off as a kind of a decoy. He'll re-peek, but an easy kill for Twix, holding that angle with the ACOG R4C. And Devious will take round number 1 here on Consulate.
I'm really quite shocked by that. I didn't imagine, obviously, not having the Mira, so we saw earlier this evening on Consulate between Dex and Polar Ace, that Break Room Mira did a decent enough job, depending on who was attacking and who was defending, of stalling out the attack for an admin push. This time around, you're playing 2 to 3 defenders. They rotate it back and forth, but at most 3 defenders playing inside of admin. They stack pretty heavy for it, and they meet a lot of resistance and a lot of damage taken from repels, which is not something that I would have imagined Motiv8 would have been exposing themselves to. And I was also very impressed. You know, I actually commented on Devious probably not being as coordinated as Motiv8. However, it looked like Devious that round being very coordinated on the repel game, knowing how Detox was going to be displacing those defenders inside of admin and catching them off on rotations. Yeah. It was a very impressive round from Devious, coordination-wise, communication, team play looked to be rather remarkable. So I have to take back my comment about that. I do apologize, and I mean that was impressive. I give them full marks for that round.
No, I agree with you completely. I mean, I don't even think there was an active ping up on in the offices when that grenade went up and almost killed 2 people. So you know, I think that was just based on call outs alone. So exactly what you said. A great job. And, you know, Motiv8, unfortunately, weren't able to give the Visa attackers any resistance, so they just didn't have to really watch their flank or anything. They were able to aggressively shoot up through the floor, and no problems whatsoever on their part. The repel windows, there wasn't any jump outs or anything crazy for them to worry about. They weren't getting pinged or anything. So that will be that. The IQ will spot a couple of obstacles in the attacker's way should they decide to swing in. A Claymore will stop any runouts, like I was just mentioning, from the Visa door onto the repellers. And now a very heavy north side push coming out here for the attackers.
Yeah, I'm seeing the counter-strat coming out from Motiv8 is trying to implement those castle barricades, try and slow them down. Cookies, though, laying down in the base of Spiral below Statue will take down one of the attackers pushing in through Visa hallway. That's Twix the Ash falling, and now more breaches coming out onto that copy window that was also castle barricaded by Kush. So the reaction from Motiv8 seemingly positive thus far, getting some more influence downstairs. They have to worry about this double pinches. Devious have done a very good job of still establishing themselves on proper angles to crossfire with. You have Judo at the Visa window, and now Jay is going to hop in as that Habana laying prone. You still have Billboard to worry about as this Ella. You also have one that is rotated in. That's Detox, the Buck coming in. 2 attackers stacked on one another. Judo will secure the kill onto Billboard, and another peek. Judo is going to TK Jay, and Cookie's going to finish off Judo as it's just Detox left alone in Visa, and Anthony, who is the repel outside of the admin windows. Much better response here from Motiv8, taking the fight downstairs to Visa.
Very unfortunate as Judo drop shots from knee to ankle all over Jay in an attempt to save his own life, but will instead end up trading 2 kills off of his team. And now up 4-2. Motiv8 looking a lot better now upstairs, as they've done a lot better of a job this round to pressure that underneath attack with 2 roamers, giving the attackers pushing into Visa a lot to look out for, which is exactly what they needed to do. A beautiful shot will catch Cookie on the cross. Anthony will get 1. Book will trade right back onto Detox. Anthony will miss a few bullets. He is now the last remaining attacker. A lot of the defenders pushed up in the main lobby area over by yellow stairs. He will see the foot of one. He'll throw some bullets out and get Kush. He was missing a lot of shots, but finally managed to get him. Only 9 seconds left. The smoke cutting off his rotation. Too weak to try and make a trip through it. He'll jump in. The Legion almost killing him. Book will finish him off easily from the connector. And Motiv8 now picking up their first round.
Like I touched on in the middle of the round there, I was very impressed by the response from Motiv8. Taking that fight downstairs in Visa was the appropriate decision. And then the other thing that I really liked from Motiv8 that round was the retreat. You had 4 defenders who very easily could have aggressed onto those 2 attackers coming from the admin side Instead, all 4 defenders back off. There wasn't anyone even playing inside of A bomb. The closest person to sight of A was the Legion of Book inside of Connector, and they take the long angles. You saw, I can't remember who the smoke was last time around. I think it might have been Billboard or Talon, but they were launching smoke canisters all the way through the rotation hole on the back of Long Desk wall from the bathroom doorway into A to dispel anyone rushing in. They played it very safe after they knew they had that advantage. They backed off and they didn't get over aggressive and lose that man advantage. They played for trades, and that's exactly what happened. You had a couple trade outs in late round there, and the inability to get into sight was stalling out Devious. He had nowhere to go, and a beautiful execution by Motiv8. And yeah, a drone going to get destroyed by the reinforcement, as Motiv8 going to be reinforcing what I call the YouTuber special, which is the rush in through archives.
Yes, indeed, and it's actually that type of a push is something I'd expect more out of Motiv8 than anybody else, because they usually, once per map, as I've touched on before, as we saw in the last map, do at least one rushing attack throughout the at least each map, I would say. Maybe not that often, maybe once per game. But they are known for the rush attack, and it's surprisingly successful for them because they don't overuse it. So here we go into round 3, 30 seconds off the board. Devious surrounding the outside of the garage area. Be peeking a little bit onto the yellow stairs. A couple of defenders working on the top floor. Cookies, as well as I believe the Valk was up there at one point, maybe just deploying cameras and coming back down. Lots of drones coming in after him. They will spot somebody in bath, and that will be the Vigil recharging his ability. So they know that he is in there, and now the castle will be at the top of yellow stairs as well.
Roam clear taking its time for Devious, trying to get the drones in place. They have one in copy hallway, one trying to come in through the meeting room balcony, and Jay repelled out on the B windows will claim the first victim in Talon. He'll fall, but Kush with a great response, dropping Jay in a trade. Now down to a 4v4. You still have Billboard and Cookies to worry about on the roam game. Kush rotated back downstairs, and actually so did Cookies. He's fallen off his bathroom hold. Elected to go back downstairs, and now Motiv8 going to opt to hold the main floor more than anything on their roam. They've sacrificed the top floor. Judo going to take down Kush as he was coming down yellow stairs. Cookies, the last roamer now, as Billboard rotates back to sight, and Cookies playing inside a piano as that Vigil. Going to cause some problems for Devious with 80 seconds left on the board as they attempt to drone out sight and start a push towards the objective. They're going to have trouble with Cookies coming in on this flank.
Yes, indeed. So only a minute left. A little bit of a stall out as the Thermite is rotating back to the garage to try and make something happen. Buck will drop down into piano, and Anthony will take out Cookies on that roam near piano somewhere. Will open up that floor to stop any sort of bandit tricking, and an easy open up in the garage as Book will still hold an angle here on this black car. He'll run out, and through the smoke, he'll get a headshot right at the same time. Billboard gets a kill. So now all of a sudden it's a 2v2. Diffuser trapped outside. IQ is going to have to cross on these yellow stairs outside. She'll see one smoke canister cross her screen. She'll peek out, and she will find Billboard. That is one. Only Book now remains, and Anthony with the triple kill this round will finish it out, taking Book's head off. And that will be another one in the bag for Devious.
That was an impressive roam clear coming out from Devious. They lose one on the rappel, which was the Habana, but they brought the double breach and Thermite as well as the backup just in case anything went wrong. And it worked out perfectly for them. They dispel that roam game topside, and they pushed them all downstairs or kill them off. Billboard was able to escape, and a wonderful push out by Book as that smoke. I believe it was Detox and the Buck just missing his assignment on covering through those holes he had made looking down towards trip wall on garage. It allows Book to go for the run. A wonderful shot through the smoke like you pointed, and they leveled up man count, and then Billboard just getting caught off, just leaning outside the doorway into kitchen. And now Motiv8 head upstairs for their third attempt at the topside defense, going 1-1 so far, and they are down around right now.
Yes, they are indeed. Still a lot of Siege to be played in this best of 10 map, in this best of 3 series. You can see at the top of your screen there, Motiv8 will be taking map number 1 if you're just tuning in. So if they manage to win this map, they will close out the series. If Devious win this map, we will move on to map number 3, which is Coastline?
Yes, Coast.
Coastline. Perfect. The Kush will be closing these windows up with the castle, at least one of them, as they've been doing a lot of roaming in the office and a lot of setup upstairs. He will actually rotate downstairs now. And the first time, not a lot of roaming going on. The second time, they roamed heavy in Visa to counter the Buck, opening the floor, and found the only success that they found so far on this map with that counter play. But a lot of repelling will be going up on the north side this time as the attackers make their approach to the site.
Devious with a good read so far that they've noticed there's all this utility and intel gathering and personnel being placed towards the admin side, and now they've started to stack themselves in position for a take of the B site through windows and yellow stairs. Talon going to be playing on the yellow stairs, but Twix will claim the first kill onto Kush coming in through garage. I guess Kush was opting to position himself for a run out the garage to kill anyone repelled on the B windows. No such aggression going to be coming out as he gets taken off the board. A good roam clear starting things off a minute deep. Ash pushing the bathroom hallways. That's Twix. Coming in below. Another grenade going to be coming out, taking the life of Talon on yellow stairs. So now the control of being able to push in through B site, especially with that rotate opened up. Standing in the middle of the window is Billboard. He's going to go for the jump, but like I touched on, you can jump out a window, but it's most certainly a death sentence on Consulate. So you get traded out by Judo. Now down to a 4v2. Midway through the round of 4v1, Jay repelled in the bathroom window, shuts down Book. It's all up to Cookies now at 1v4. He's got one coming up yellow stairs, one repelled in his bathroom window, another one repels into the yellow window. There's 3 stacked in the yellow window, and Cookies removes the head of Jay, but has to reload, goes for the drop shot. Detox shuts him down, and Devious up 3-1 on Consulate. Not a phrase I imagine saying heading in.
You know, you talked about this, and then you retracted your statement, which you didn't think Devious maybe had it in him to kind of run cohesive strategies, and especially not change what they're doing mid-game based on an IGL call-out. But that's exactly what I've been seeing from Devious. They attacked that Visa, and it worked beautifully. They tried it again, and they got shut down. And they tried a completely different approach to attacking this top site, and it worked beautifully again. So they've just been having a lot of success. They've been changing their strategy. They've been working together. They've been pinging on drones, which allows for, you know, that grenade up through the floor and etc. And because of this, they've been finding a lot of success, whereas Motiv8 has been seemingly not so in sync with each other. A lot of individual play trying to happen on the side of Motiv8, and not a lot of success being found.
I don't even think it's Motiv8 beating themselves. It truly is. Like, there are games where, and now they've opted to go for another page in the strat book here, fully reinforcing off the yellow stairs wall into B site. There are times at which it is the team that is probably favored, which I think would be Motiv8 in this case, just given their reputation. There are times at which the team that is favored beats themselves. It is not the team that wins outplaying them. It is that it's that the team that are favored beat themselves. They make the simple mistakes and they get executed upon. That's not the case. Devious is simply outplaying Motiv8 right now. There is so much team play and coordination coming out on behalf of Devious right now that I'm really shocked by it. And I'm really impressed by their ability to, like you said, make that strat call mid-round, to make that adjustment, to identify the fact that there was so much utility placed inside admin. And it looks like Devious are attempting to go for another admin take. So they're swapping it up multiple times back-to-back rounds. And again, it is not Motiv8 beating themselves. It is Devious simply outplaying Motiv8 thus far on Consulate.
Hey, just a quick shout out to our observer, Kaz Rep, who followed that black eye cam. He wanted to see where it ended up, and he found it. So kudos to you, man. I was kind of interested too. But either way, here we go, getting started round number 5. I say getting started. There's already a minute off the board, and pretty much no action so far. Devious is pushed in. They're holding some angles, seeing if the defense is going to get antsy and maybe start to look for the attackers at this point in time. Meanwhile, Motiv8 will go back upstairs. This is their 4th appearance upstairs in 5 rounds, only shuffling off of upstairs the one time that they managed to win it. Judo will open it up, taking Cookies out of play. That's the Doc off the board. The Smoke taking some damage too. IQ a little bit low, but still retains most of his health. Legion will get absolutely decimated. Some trades going back and forth. Kush will bring it back, getting a double kill. Judo will trade that right back, though, and Detox will get one of his own to continue the rampage of Devious. And now, as we've seen so many times before, a 1v3, a 1vx situation for Motiv8.
Talon at the top of Spiral Stairs is going to have Judo encroaching first. It's going to be his first contact coming through the double doors of the desk room. He's encroaching very quickly here. He's giving away his position with the sound, but a wonderful shot onto Judo. Drops the diffuser, and he's got both attackers fairly close. It'll be Anthony taking the corner and the advantage and pushing this to match point. No, sorry, one off match point, 4-1. I'm used to the old settings. It still readjust my mindset, but it is Devious up 4-1, winning the first half convincingly on attack. A situation I did not think Devious had it in them going into this game.
Yeah, and you know, you look at the kill spread of Motiv8, you say, hey, that's pretty even. Everybody's doing their job, and everybody's just a step behind is what's happening. Well, on the other side of the fence, Devious, Anthony 7-2, Judo 6-3, and even their newcomers, well, Judo being one of their newcomers, just doing a really great job. So now our roles will flip. It will be Devious' turn. Devious' turn to go ahead and try and defend here on Consulate, and Motiv8 will have the opportunity to attack. So the first defensive round comes as no surprise probably to most of us, as the upstairs site will be chosen for round 1 of Devious' defense.
Bring out the Jackal. I enjoy Jackal for the roam clear potential. I just don't really see the utility of those feet pings really garnering any more intel than you should already know when clearing upstairs. You know, there's maybe going to be a roamer downstairs. You should have drones on him. You're going to know the common anchor spots for defenders topside. I think really it's the gunplay and the smoke grenades going to come out that are going to be more advantageous on behalf of Kush taking Jackal than it will be the utility itself. Double breach coming out from Motiv8 as well, as it looks like they're really just prepping themselves for the scenario in which they have to make a quick change on the fly. And Talon, disregarding all safety, is just going to charge into admin, immediately establish a foothold as Book repels up the copy window to join him. But Talon alone, Kush joins him on the left side of admin, and now they're going for a pinch to quickly get some control onto site. Judo coming down the main hallway. Talon will rip him up, going for the second. Detox will save himself, down to about 75 HP, but they lose the castle in the process. He's already used his barricade, so it's not the end of the world. And there goes the feet pings on an Echo playing in B-bomb. Like I said, nothing too spectacular gained there, but it could force him out of a position where Billboard could catch him on a rotation. A drone has the Bandit of Twix inside of A-bomb, playing him behind the folded table. Now Echo will rotate to Connector.
You know, I really like what they were doing. They had the drone at the feet of the Buck of Talon. Talon got a little bit overextended there, trying to secure the kill after the down. Kush will miss every bullet, every opportunity, and Detox will make him pay, especially by taking the Habana out right after. Wow, Kush is not going to be happy about that exchange. He could see the operator laying down. He could see the legs, and of course, Long Desk is, to a certain degree, penetrable, but not long ways right down the middle, unfortunately. And he will make the pay, finishing him and Habana. And I was going to say, you know, it's something that for some reason I don't see very often. I have no idea why. Is real-time droning, right? Drones right at the feet of an entry fragger, and they were doing it perfectly. They got the intel, but just weren't able to capitalize. So one more will come out as Detox will get a kill with the Jaeger. Some last-ditch effort here by Billboard, and we are in another 1v3 in the favor of Devious. This is probably the third or fourth time we've seen it in 6 rounds. You will see the shoulder of one. He'll peek out, not able to beat the Bearing 9 at close range. And Devious now will be on match point.
A wonderful job on the defense as well, ripping up that quick brush in by Motiv8, and yeah, you kind of got a feel for Kush there, missing those shots. That round goes entirely different if he is able to remove Detox from play. A wonderful push up by him, 2 wonderful kills, and Motiv8 backs against the wall. Like you said, 3s across the board. It's not one person not showing up. The team is showing up just as a team collectively. They are not performing to, I imagine, their standards, to the standards of their reputation, and they are getting beat pretty bad here on Consulate, a map that, like I said, in the beginning on paper looked like it was going to be in favor of Motiv8.
It did, and Devious just absolutely running away with this map now, and I'm not sure what Motiv8 can do to stop them. They're going to have to try something funky, and I'm very, very... I wouldn't be surprised at all to see some sort of rush. They didn't bring the Finka like they did the last time when they tried the rush on Oregon, which was actually successful, but winning, obviously not impossible. We saw this on Friday. We saw somebody come back from a 5-1 deficit. To see somebody come back from a 5-1 deficit in itself is impressive, but to see it in week 1 is even more impressive. If you guys don't know what match I'm talking about, I'm not going to spoil it for you. We put all of our matches onto YouTube, youtube.com/CCS eSports. I highly recommend you watching the NA games that you missed if you don't know what game I'm talking about, because you are really missing out not having watched that game. Either way, here we go into round number 7. Match point for Devious. Devious will have match point 4 times. Even if they lose every single round, all 4 times, we will go into overtime. Well, they will still have the opportunity to win.
So it looked like Motiv8 were going to be trying to open up the wall, and now they will. They approach the outside of the garage wall fairly quickly. They'll be breaching left side, then moving over to the right, trying to dispel any kind of immediate aggression out, like we saw Book pull off a few rounds ago. And Devious get a little aggressive on the peaks, but Judo backed off from his pipes angle, not trying to get too antsy here. As honestly, if Devious play this safe, a minute deep in the round, they've got the garage wall open, but as long as Devious play a disciplined game here, this could easily send us to map number 3, onto Coastline, a map which we've seen Devious play fairly well in the past. Now, Talon outside of the bathroom window hasn't done a whole lot. He was droning there for a minute, but now he really needs to get in and start help with this clear. Twix at the top of the bottom spiral stairs. It's going to be his first repellent as he breaks open the bathroom windows. Midway through the round, drones coming out once again to try and obtain some information on some anchors playing. Not a lot of roam happening, not a lot of roam clear either. Both sides playing it very close to the chest and trying to take this one step at a time on the garage wall. And Jay actually ascertained the first pick onto Kush. That's 2 frag grenades off the board. The hopping coming in from Talon. He's going to get ripped up by Twix. All these wooden barricades shrouding Twix in cover. Now a 2-man advantage, a 1-man advantage now as Cookie's Wolf fell. Jay, another trade out now. Cookie got 2 on the round. Twix was trying to come in for the flank, but his wooden barricade stopped him. A great pre-fire from Cookies would have dropped him to the floor had that barricade not been there. The plant is going down in behind White Van. It's not repelled off just yet. The plant gets completed by Billboard, and he's trying to back out, but he's got Anthony to deal with. Anthony will come up with the SMG-11. Diffuser is at the bottom of White Stairs. Buck needs to back out as he claims the life of Twix. Cookies grabs a 3rd onto the round for Detox. Now running out the garage wall is Anthony alone. Cookies for the 4K on the round. Motiv8 not going down without a fight.
Cookies with the monster round, and it's unfortunate because the only 2 times that Motiv8 have managed to win around this map is when somebody stepped up and had a very big play. That's not the situation you want to be in if you're a team where you're having to rely on an individual to step up as opposed to team play where you're, you know, if somebody on your team's going to die, you want to trade that kill right back out. You want to be in crossfire situations. You want to have up-to-date information for drones, which they tried to do upstairs with Talon where he overextended and got killed on the Buck, and managed trading a 1-for-1 instead of waiting for maybe some backup for somebody to pop out and refrag on his behalf. That sort of thing, that sort of relying on individual play never pays off. And look at it. They've only won 2 rounds, whereas Devious, who've been playing as a very cohesive unit, are up 5.
So heading upstairs are Devious, and they're bringing out a similar setup that stalled out the attack of Motiv8 after they had that quick push in. It was Talon and Kush coming in for an aggressive entry into admin. They obtain 1 kill off of it. Talon gets immediately traded out. Kush misses his shots, and then the rest of the roster for Motiv8 fall like dominoes. And honestly, if you're Motiv8, I gotta be thinking you want to be changing up the strategy. However, Devious have seemingly prepped for a take on either side. They're not really exposed on either one. They haven't over-implemented utility on one side or the other. They've prepped for a yellow and V Windows take. They've prepped for that admin take. Bringing out the billboard Montaigne with the Finca, I imagine there is a strategy in mind. Probably number 61 they came up with on the fly. Billboard going to be coming up yellow stairs as that Montaigne solo.
So, yep, 30 seconds into the round, a little bit of a sight line being opened up by Talon up through the floor. And actually, defender very aggressively staying there, will shoot down through the floor somehow, taking the head off of Talon. So Talon's kill holes, oh no. Cookies will take Billboard out as well, and now only 3 attackers remain. 2 minutes and 10 seconds still left. And yeah, Talon will open up those sight lines and then get wrecked right back through them. Poor guy. Lots and lots of time left for the attackers to try and do something. Call number 1 will come out from Dokkaebi. Finca charge will go out as well. They are all juiced up on Finca, but the attackers very spread out. 2 on the roof, 1 on rappel. Not knowing exactly how to approach this now with their shield, who I'm assuming they were planning on pushing the site behind, getting eliminated.
So Motiv8 having to alter the strat call and head for an admin take now. Midway through the round, they've burned a lot of time, lost 2 operators in the process, especially that Montaigne Billboard. That was not the best time for a TK, being on match point to send this to map number 3. But now they're trying to recover. In a 3v5, this is still very doable. We've seen it a couple times before. All 3 attackers droning the same thing as they run like a platoon down the long desk. I don't know why, but the Echo drone will evade those and head towards the top of Visa Stairs, where Book is losing his smoke grenades to the ADS. Sorry, that's Book launching in the flashbang, sorry. As Kush will now fill in the position, going prone, looking up through the floor, looking up to the ceiling, sorry, for the Echo drone. Smoke canisters going back and forth, a flank coming up the Visa Stairs to implement another Finca charge to heal himself back up to at least 30 HP. Twix and Book will trade down to a 4v2. Jay drops another one. It's all up to Cookies inside of A. He claims one of Jay, but the drop shot by Detox proves too powerful. And we're heading to map number 3.
Yeah, you cannot leave it in Cookie's hands every single time. They've got to reconvene. They've got to talk and be like, okay, guys, so that was a fun, but let's go ahead and secure the win here, because Devious, they're not going to have to change anything in the interim between maps. They have just been doing a fantastic job so far. So we, I believe, are going to take a short break. We're going to ban the ops, yada, yada. And we'll put a timer up and some nice music for you while we take that final break. And then we'll head into the last map of the night, which will be, Mr. Flynn,
Coastline.
Coastline. So stick around, folks. We will be back momentarily with the epic conclusion of Motiv8 versus Devious eSports. Stick around.
You turn around, I feel the breeze over me. You watch your dreams unfold. Let it come around and let it breathe over me. It's time to go away into the light. I feel the calming energy. I see the darkness coming, and I'm calling you to help me set me free. I'm calling for you. I'm calling for you. I'm calling for you. Fly all the faith of the world in your plans, guarding your faith with the palm of your hands. I know, yeah, I know. It's the unknown, the unknown. It's time to go away into the light. I feel the calming energy. I see the darkness coming, and I'm calling you to help me set me free. I'm calling for you. I'm calling for you.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Glad to have you back as we go into map number 3 of this best of 3 series. Motiv8 winning in overtime. Map number 1 on Oregon. Devious coming back with the vengeance on map number 2. Consulate winning it out 6-2 very convincingly. And now Devious, can they be stopped here on our last map, Coastline? You'll have to wait and find out as we get underway. My name is Tight Angles, joined by Flynn, my co-caster, and Kaz Rep, the observer tonight. You can all follow us all on Twitter, Tight Angles, at Flynn, FLLYYNN, and at Kaz Rep, just like it sounds. And here we go in map number 3, Coastline.
And Motiv8 pulling the Finca Montaigne again. Finca Montaigne Blitz. No Blitz band out, just to go over the op band, same as Consulate, BB Glass, Pulse Mira. On Coastline as well. Kitchen Service going to be the initial defensive hold for Devious. I mean, I've talked about it a million times until I'm blue in my face. Coastline, a map that can be played all 4 angles. All 4 bomb sites pretty respectively. And the alterations between them all and the different patterns in which teams take their primaries and secondaries alter greatly. Interesting bans, honestly. The Glass on Coastline is going to be a significant one. Pulse, I mean, it's situational. It depends where you're defending and what kind of team play you're looking for and what you're used to. Some teams will opt to have like a heavy roam presence downstairs while defending Penn Theater, and other times they'll opt for like a full luggage and aquarium roam game. It's a map that plays very differently depending on the team. This double shield with the Finka strat, it had a lot of success with sipping on OJ on decks. I haven't seen a team really implement it well since.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Kitchen, we talk about the viability. Let's get into this. We talk about the viability of all the maps, but I will say that Kitchen is probably the least picked first choice map for any team. But Devious apparently having something up their sleeves for this map. Mira being banned out all 3 maps. Typically, you see a Mira set up right behind that B-bomb, looking from Kitchen down towards delivery. The attackers wasting no time now attacking this delivery door with the Montaigne. They'll bait out 1 smoke only 40 seconds into the round. They will toss out some cover smokes of their own. Remember, no glass to shoot through it. A smoke canister will bounce off the shield of Monty back in, do a little bit of damage to him. But so far, not much, as 2 smokes have been baited out and still over half the round to go.
Yeah, everyone congregating around this kitchen service doorway, and they've already baited out 2 smokes, but they still have to worry about the Echo drone, which is going to be a massive deterrent for both of these shields for being able to rush in and acquire some quick picks with that Finka boost, or even the Toxic Babes will hurt you even more with that Finka charge on. The plant is coming in from Cookies as he walks up right against the wall, against the smoke playing inside of bathroom. Spray's coming out, the Echo drone gets spotted, booked with a great cover from the door. Legion traps being thrown out will miss wide left, the plant going down by Cookies. The Thermite tucked in behind the desk. The sprays by Anthony just missing. Judo and Detox both playing victims. Kush will fall. Billboard the same. Now in a 3v4, a 2v4 as Judo grabs another one onto Cookies. Jay takes Talon. Book grabs one of his own. Detox falls. It's a 1v3. Book in a bad situation, as it's going to be very easy for Judo to stick this in behind the desk. Anthony going prone, trying to hold for the cover. Anthony will get down, but not finished off just yet, spraying in behind. But the cover is sufficient. The defuse disable goes off. Defenders of Devious will win round number 1 on Kitchen.
Yeah, bad spot laying down if you're trying to get a kill, but a great spot to force the attacker to engage you if he wants to push in further with the cover behind. They sold out, they being Motiv8, they sold out to get the plant down, which, of course, if you look at the statistics, when teams get the plant down, their win rate on attack goes up significantly, but it's not a insurmountable thing for the defense to come back. And after that flurry of kills, mostly by Devious, a very easy retake and defuse for them. So Devious will continue to win, and they will take round number 1 here on Coastline and take the kitchen hold of all places with no Mira. Very impressive.
Heading now to Penthouse and Theater, a little more standard. Same operators coming out on the side of the defense for Devious, and the only alterations being made, so Billboard will swap from Blitz to Lion, Book will swap from Thatcher to IQ. Now they're putting Talon on this Montaigne role, so they're going through musical chairs on who's going to play that shield role as that distraction, that human meat shield, as you put it last week. And I mean, I'm not seeing a lot of success. I'm not seeing a lot of even influence on a round by the shields thus far. Motiv8 have tried this on all 3 maps, and through all 3 maps, we have not seen an effectual either roam clear or distraction or really anything other than baiting out a couple smoke canisters through all 3 maps, and that just happened now. It's a strategy that I think Motiv8 should promptly walk away from.
Well, we'll see. I mean, they did get the diffuser down, and it's undeniable. Like I said before, it is undeniable how much of an advantage you put yourself at if you're able to get the diffuser down. But the shields, what they gain in the ability to push up into defender territory, they lack in the ability to frag out. So with a double shield setup like this, you kind of put yourself at risk, which is why I think that they, dropped 1 at the very least to try and make something happen. But unfortunately, the Montaigne will get weakened and weaken some more with that goo trap going off into his leg. Down to half health, now down to less than half health as he finally will pull that barb out. He'll push right back up just to get some intel. He is a moving camera. The smoke just narrowly missing him. More lesions coming out. This time he'll shoot it off. But now look at where we're at right now. We're about half the way through the round and just barely into VIP.
Yeah, they're trying to push in and at least open up the VIP wall, which is what Cookies is opting to do now. Runs into a bandit charge on the other side. Now Kush trying to cover for the flanks. Plant in the hands of Cookies. And if anyone was going to be picking up the diffuser and going for the plant, I'd imagine it would be either Talon or Talon being that shield in front of the diffused plant. Instead, last time around, he's spotting the feed out. Kush gonna light up Jay, finish him off to get the first pick. 2 minutes deep. Motiv8 taking their time on pushing, but they have opened up the wall. They have the smoke grenades in hand. Twix being spotted out from the roof as well. Book gonna grab Anthony. The plant goes down. Twix coming in for the flank. Anthony smoke grenade will claim the life of Cookies. And now hitting a lesion trap was Talon. He's gonna have to back off into Hall of Fame and pull that out. Book still covering from big window. Has a advantageous position here to shut this entire round down solo. Another EOD is going to be coming out from the Lion. Lesion Mine spotted by Talon will be shot with the P9, and he'll rotate back to VIP. Detox held in place on the theater stairs. Will rotate back. A wonderful shot by Judo. Takes down Book on the big window. Down to a 3v3. They still have this Montaigne to deal with inside of Hall of Fame, giving all the callouts and unable to be destroyed. Kush inside of VIP will grab one. Talon claims another. It's all up to Twix now on a 1v2 against the shield. Billboard has been down. It's a 1v1, but there's no time to defuse, and Motiv8 are going to be tying things up 1-1. They just stand in separation of a few inches inside of Hall of Fame and let the round expire.
Yeah, not much you can do at that point. No time to defuse. And that's what I'm talking about. You know, the Thermite kind of kicked things off with dying to the smoke, but he got the diffuser down. And it's worth it every time to trade a player out for a diffuser plant, because now it's up to the defense to try and do the retake. They're firmly planted in a VIP. They got the guy who was ready to flank from hallway by shooting his little toesies. And, you know, a very, very solid win there by Motiv8, even though it came down to a 1v1 at the end, just because, you know, the time is now reduced greatly because of the diffuser play. I'm like a firm believer in getting that diffuser down, and you know, the numbers back me up, period. And that's what you'll see out of a team that plays at a high level like Motiv8 does, is you will see that their primary focus is not to frag out, it is to get the diffuser down. And I think that they, in Consulate, they decided to drop down to Devious's level and try to frag and refrag Devious's very frag-heavy attempt at attacking and defending the sites that they did. And I think that they're kind of going back to their roots and saying, okay, guys, let's just get the diffuser down. Let's just play Siege the way that, you know, successful people play Siege.
Looks like Detox is going to be going for some aggression. He's going to run out the Sunrise entrance all the way to the pool spawn, and no such luck as all of Motiv8 have elected to spawn elsewhere. Couple spawning, actually 4 stacking up on the Ruin spawn, and that leaves 1 at the main entrance. Kush wary of this, waiting for a re-peek by Detox, and that's not something you want to do if you're Devious right now. You're on map number 3, you have a chance to close things out. You've already had success on the site you're currently on. There's no sense in getting over-aggressive and throwing your life away. The initial peek, while rather courageous, is it was ineffective, and he runs back to site, which is the proper call to make. They do have this hatch open and a couple shotgun holes in the wall in Sunrise, so Talon's gonna have to be very cautious about peeking out and getting too far away from any supporting flankers. Lesion Mine getting it spotted out once again by Talon. Judah's having a rough time on that Lesion, getting Lesion traps to actually stick and stay hidden. Once they are cloaked, they're pretty hard to spot unless you've got a drone on them. And Judah playing in behind this deployable shield is going to be a nuisance for Motiv8 to deal with.
Yes, indeed. And so all of Sunrise Bar now overrun with attackers. No resistance in that area other than that initial run out. And I will clarify for those that don't know, you know, our rules are different from ESL and runouts and spawn peaks. Everything is allowed. There's no 5-second rule like there is in ESL. The only restriction is you cannot spawn peek, kill an attacker immediately as they spawn into the map. Other than that, once they start moving, there's no 5-second rule. They're able to go right away. Billboard will get a team kill as he takes Jay out. Unfortunate, as I believe, yes, indeed, it was the carrier who is going for the defuse. Montaigne will go into the smoke, lose half of his health to recover the diffuser. Kush low now, and it is now a 4v3. Kush will push out and get Judo down 4v2 as the diffuser finally gets planted. And there they go, sticking with what works, getting that diffuser down and letting the odds take over. And the odds, like I said, and I will continue to say, are good when that diffuser goes down. Vigil will push down these stairs, will not see the operator in blue bar. Lion charge EE1D will go out. I believe that is the second and last one for him. Yes, indeed, it will be. Book will take out one. Twix will get one on his way out. 3 still to contend with and only a third of the diffuser time left. He'll see the Monty in the corner. He'll get one. Monty will ADS, put some damage down, but re-shield up. He's just toying with him now as there's no time to defuse, so Twix will try to get a kill to pad his stats. Talon will not let that happen. And 2 consecutive rounds now for Motiv8.
Been a theme thus far from Coastline, which is Motiv8 are neglecting any kind of roam presence on behalf of Devious. And Devious, I think now that you've had 3 rounds to witness it, you need to start playing your roam game in position to come for a flank a lot quicker. You need to be able to respond to that call immediately and come in behind. If someone had dropped Sunrise and just lit into the kitchen, they probably would have grabbed 2 or 3 frags. This roam game, while it is at least deterring a push from Motiv8 on one side of the map or the other, it seems to be Motiv8 are picking their objective push based off where they identify the roam game being most heavy and going to the opposite side. What Devious really need to do is position themselves to be able to come in for that flank, especially with that Montaigne of Talon coming in so predominantly. I talked about at the beginning of round number 2 that Motiv8's shield play thus far has been just nominal. It hasn't done anything. It hasn't distracted anyone. And the same can be said to a degree, but what's happening in consecutive rounds now is the diffuser gets down, Talon walks into a corner and just full shields on it.
Yeah.
You can't do anything about that at that point, which is a flawed game mechanic in my opinion, but it is a current game mechanic that they are allowed to use, and it is working. So being able to get in behind that Montaigne and be close to sight and be able to listen for that call of where the push is coming from, get in behind that Montaigne. As soon as you drop Talon, you've had a lot of success on the retakes of getting frags. It's just when that impenetrable shield, full shields in a corner right beside diffuser, you're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, and you know, the game mechanic of shields is a very hotly debated thing. Of course, I'm not going to get too deep into it either, but there is no denying that Montaigne is at his most effective when the diffuser has been planted and he's standing watch over it, right? You got to make a decision. Do I go for the Montaigne when he's stuck in a corner and, you know, duke it out, or do I go for the defuse where Montaigne can easily de-shield himself, ADS, and take your head off? But up until that point, Montaigne maybe not as effective. And again, there's a whole debate circling it, which I don't really want to get into either. But that is something that you do have to contend with. So round number 4 coming out. A Montaigne will make a 4th appearance in a row. Lion and Thermite, IQ, and Capital. Talon will ADS with that shield and take out Detox. Twix will refrag onto the Lion. No EE1Ds coming out, so no Lion utility being utilized, but Vigil, being a very good roamer, now eliminated.
So midway through the round, it looks like Motiv8 have deviated from their initial plan in the first 3 rounds, which was aggress onto site, we don't care about anyone else. Now they've gone and opted for a full roam clear, which has lost them a Lion in the process. Billboard dropping without utilizing any of those EODs, and they're kind of stalling out a little bit too. They're stuck inside the Penn Theater, and now they're just going to go for the same push as well, going for the service door once again. But now there's only a minute on the board. The first time they aggressed onto that service door, actually now they're all going for a Lambo.
Yeah, they had flashbacks.
Into the main lobby. I guess Cookies is going to breach open the wall into service from the right side, and they're going to push in with those smoke cover and try and get this plant down in the corner and cover from the Lambo. An interesting decision, but there's only 40 seconds left on the board now. Those smoke canisters can really delay that plant and stop that entryway in as they're currently doing. Last smoke grenade coming out from Talon. Twix is going to drop cookies, though. It's the thermite down. Another gun off the board as you have already sacrificed one gun by bringing Talon on that Montaigne. Lots of sprays coming out. Talon's down to about 10 HP as well. He's had to go for a rotation back to main lobby. Book now going to be fragging open the wooden barricade. He drops Judo on a rush in, leveling up man count out of the 3v3. Nitro still going to be coming out and dropping Book, and a great response. Sprays coming out back and forth. Push drops Jay. He'll get down to the Lambo. It's all up to Talon now. 1 HP gets finished off by the concurrent damage by the goo mine, and that roam clear costing them way too much time and the Lion.
Yes, indeed. So now Devious bringing it back, and still back and forth. We've seen a lot of that throughout map 1 and map 3. Map 2 kind of a decimation by Devious, but still, like there has been all along, a lot of siege left to play. Both of these teams have the ability to close out this series on this map. It's who is going to make the corrections on the mistakes that they're making first. Devious did a very good defensive hold there on the kitchen. They've had 2 successful kitchen holds over 2 different styles of attacks, and then of course they lost one kitchen due to another style attack. And Motiv8 opting to attack kitchen three different times in 3 different manners.
Yeah, the strat book is fairly large on behalf of Motiv8, but it seems that it's not been as effective as they would like it to be. The conversion ratio at this point is not as it's not where they would want it to be with this Montaigne strat. I'm still iffy on it. I've seen the success it's had with just shoving Talon in as soon as the diffuser gets down, just dropping him in an indestructible corner and waiting out the timer. The problem is they were having a lot of success and Devious weren't making changes. That was the thing. They went back-to-back rounds on the back of Talon getting in, full shielding as soon as diffuser got down, and Motiv8 were getting very aggressive onto the site early. They were getting in and planting within about 1 minute and 20 seconds in both of those rounds. They also had the Lion to cover. They go for that roam clear, and they're entertaining the same positioning that Devious pulled off 3 rounds in a row, and they had so much success on just pushing into the site, neglecting the roam game entirely, as once again the roam game is fairly spread out, and they get caught off in a crossfire, and they lose the time as well. They did a wonderful job of baiting out the smoke canisters very early in the round on their 2 successful attacks, and it looks like Motiv8 are now positioning themselves to go back for this VIP take. Talon missing the Valk cam underneath the DJ booth inside of VIP. This double roam coming out from Detox and Twix are going to be crucial on the flank as they have the information off that Valk cam missed by Talon.
Yes, indeed. So, minute off the board. The VIP wall now getting opened up. They're actually going to open up panels 1 and 3 into there. 1 to hold an angle, 1 to kind of squeeze in and go for the plant. Twix and Valk. Twix on that bandit underneath. Still opting to maybe try and attempt a late rotation. Some bullets flying in from Aquarium as well as the Jaeger is over there. So down at number 1 will come out. Oh, that will be Judo on the Legion. No plant being attempted thus far. They do bait out Nitro Cell number 1. Here comes the asphyxiating bolts to cut off rotation. All that floor being opened up. He'll actually shoot an asphyxiating bolt at the feet of a defender and somehow manage to get the kill. Book will get a kill. EE1D will go off. 5v3 now. The plant will now begin to go down. Still a minute left to go. That diffuser goes down. It'll cut to 45 seconds, and it does indeed. The Legion trap will come out. Judo will get a kill. I'm sorry. Cookies will get a kill on a Detox. Judo will try to pre-fire through the wall there. Twix will get a down, but he has a lot of attackers to contend with if he wants to approach that diffuser. Kush will get a kill onto Judo, and now only Twix remains. EE1D, 4 attackers all around him. He'll crawl around and try to make something happen as 2/3 of the diffuser time is now elapsed. Book will get a TK onto the downed player and then finish off Twix, and now Motiv8 bringing it right back yet again.
Book really wanted that frag, and luckily for him, TKs don't show up on the board as a negative, so he gets gets the last frag in the round there, and Motiv8 once again. They don't go for that roam clear. They aggress directly onto site. They get that plant down in 90 seconds. They shove that Montane in the middle of site, and the anchors fall. It was their strategy all along. I don't know why they deviated from it on the last attack round, attacking Kitchen, but nonetheless, now Motiv8 have to try and contend with Devious's attack as well. And thus far, it's been a two-man show on Devious, and they really need the rest of the roster to kind of step up and bring that depth. If they can have everyone stepping up and doing their part, I believe they can bring this back. They're only down a round, and heading to a more standard attack, as most teams are fairly familiar with attacking Penthouse and Theater on Coastline. I imagine they'll be trying to emulate a little bit of what they saw in Motiv8, which was kind of ignore that roam game for the most part, get into sight, and the only thing they're not bringing right now is that Montane.
Yeah, so they'll opt to go to Penthouse Theater, which is widely considered the easiest of all of the available sites to defend. Not by any means actually easy, but the easiest. Castle Barricade will go in on the door, separating VIP from the hallway. And as will a Castle go up on the window. A Lion, Zofia, Ash, Thatcher, Thermite being brought out as Devious prepares to attack for the first time here on Coastline.
The attack spread out, and as far as their spawns go, Judo and Twix spawning over by the pool side, camping out in ruins currently. Be sending out some drones, and 3-man attack now as Anthony joins them on that line. They'll be going for a hookah clear to move from west to east. An interesting decision, as we've seen the VIP balcony be the decision. And as I say that, it was just a Claymore plant. I guess Twix will run in on his own with a drone in front, but the rest of the attackers now rotating over towards the VIP balcony. Book playing inside of VIP with Billboard in behind Bookshelf as well. So Motiv8 want to hard hold VIP and stall out this push as long as possible. Devious are doing a decent job of stalling out themselves. A minute deep, and they haven't actually made it inside the building other than Twix making inside a hookah.
Yeah, so a lot of information gathering taking place. They know that there's a vigil nearby. He's actually recharging, so they will see the feet underneath in the corner there. But still no push. They're going to kind of peek underneath and see if they can see his little feetsies. They do have to be wary of this hallway, and rightly so, as the Castle will remain close by, attempting to peek down through the hallway, cause any problems for the attackers should they try to push in towards VIP where that vigil lies. They will pop one EE1D to try and stop anything crazy going on while they plant a Thermite. A peek will come out, and he will just miss the Thermite charge at the last second. He'll peek out again. Twix now knowing of his presence. Twix easy kill with that ACOG R4C. Anthony will get a kill onto Billboard in Hall of Fame. Now a 5v3, only a minute left to go, and the attackers in a pretty good position. Cookies will end the life of one with that Toxic Babe, bringing it back a little bit. The wall from VIP will get opened up. Cookies with an insanely... he gets 2 kills with the Toxic Babes. He'll engage with the person on top of hatch, but Jay will win. That was a very aggressive jump over the couch as the wall got opened up. And now shots raining back and forth. Book will manage to get a kill. Talon will manage to get a kill, and they have brought it back to a 2v1 now in favor of Motiv8. The remaining attackers actually on site, the 2 defenders in VIP. Knowing that they're both there, he'll see the Valk peek out from behind the bookcase in the corner. He'll take some shots and miss. Still 2 full health defenders to contend with, and he knows they're in VIP. He'll take it outside so he can reload. He'll peek around, but only 13 seconds left. He's going to have to find 2. He finds 1, and he clutches it out. Oh, Jay with the double kill to finish it off in the closing seconds. And what a beautiful job by Jay.
Oh, boys. You had that. You just had to hide. You don't have to peek that. You don't. Come on. You know better. You know better. Oh, that's a throw right there. Talked about on Consulate, it wasn't Motiv8 beating themselves. That is Motiv8 beating themselves right there. A rough one. Tied up scoreline now, 3-3. Devious are bringing it back one round at a time. I'm got smoked through the wall. Okay, Detox. Good for you, buddy. We're proud.
Happens.
heading back to Penthouse Theater as Motiv8 try to do this again. Their presence in the main hallway wasn't really felt, but it was a wonderful flank by Book coming up the Cool Vibe stairs, flanking in through that thermite hole made by Bookshelf. The Talon is currently reinforcing once again, and Book came in as that mute. I think he grabbed a frag, a down, Talon cleaned his down, and then they had the 2v1 advantage as Jay was inside a site without diffuser. They were covering the diffuser inside of VIP. All they had to do was sit there and do nothing, and unfortunately, they threw it all away.
Threw it all away, indeed, and it's kind of hard to watch because now instead of a 4-2, it's a 3-3. Devious with the clutch at the last second, all thanks to Jay on that Zofia. They will set up a very similar setup with the castling of the window, door, and probably VIP door as well, as the attackers are approaching from the hookah side.
Yeah, we've got 3 roamers heading over to billiards, and now Kush filling in the hookah hallway at the top of Cool Vibe stairs. This is an aggressive roam here, and the EOD is going to be coming up from the line of Anthony. Billboard's going to grab the first frag, though, onto Jay, trying to come in through that hookah balcony doorway. You have 2 more attackers trying to fill in the same position, and now Kush coming in through the rotation hole at the top of Cool Vibe stairs into the hookah wall. You have 1 flanking 2 now heading over to the balcony, and Kush is going to drop off the angle, not trying to aggress, and now a dangerous run out by Book will get responded with a headshot by Detox, leveling up man count 4v4 now with a minute passed in the round.
Yeah, very unnecessarily aggressive, but I was just going to point out on the kills, like their sub Book sitting at the top of the leaderboard, and their top fragger, you know, in my opinion, Billboard sitting at the very bottom. So the script kind of flipped going on right now for Motiv8, and they're going to need those players that they depend on so heavily to start making something happen if they want to come out the other side with a W. They have a lot of work to do as they are, well, I thought they were down a man, but they're not. They're tied up. The Zofia getting taken out also. So EE1D number 2 will go out. Minute and a half left. Cookies will end Twix's life. Anthony will refrag onto Cookies. And now VIP control finally within grasp of the attackers. Are going to have to start making a move pretty quick. They still have the Thatcher Thermite combo. Still have a Lion, but no more utility left.
Billboard positioning himself on the pent wall, waiting for the thermite charges to come out. He's got 3 batteries currently placed, and he could use a 4th to bandit trick. Now, the defensive setup has locked Talon cleanly out of VIP. He can't flank through unless he uses his nitro cell or just cleanly rips down that castle barricade. And the walls reinforced at Bookshelf haven't been opened up by the attack this time. Anthony has cleared out Billboard from the big window. He's rotated all the way back to Theater. So now it'll be a double man hold from Theater, and now Talon trying to come in from behind. He does utilize that nitro, to breach open the castle barricade. 30 seconds left on the board, and the aggression coming onto site. Billboard going to grab 1. Traded back is Kush by Judo. 2v2 2v2 even now. Plant is going down by Judo behind bed. A great spray out by Billboard will down Detox. He's probably aware that he's down, but can't be sure as there's no points. And now crouching right behind the bed frame. He's going to peek out, and the spray's coming out from Billboard. He'll clean up the double kill to wrap things up and give Motiv8 another round advantage, up 4-3, 2 rounds away from securing the victory in its best of 3.
Yeah, it still kind of disgusts Motiv8, I bet, even though that was a great victory on that round. The fact that it could have been match point right here instead of just a 1-round advantage for them, just because of the play of Jay at the end of the prior round. But they will take the lead, I'm sure, and we will continue on into round number 8. And so far, a very valiant effort by both of these teams here on map number 3, the winner of which will take the entire series. So, round 8, map 3, deep, almost tied, one round advantage rather, by Motiv8 here. And a more controlled lineup now coming out from Devious. They got the Thatcher Thermite, Habana. I'm sorry, they don't have the Thermite. They have the Thatcher Habana. But they also have the Ash and Zofia, which I know, Flynn, you're not particularly a fan of.
I mean, it was the utilization. It wasn't that I had anything against them picking the operators. The operators were fine. It was the utilization all the way back on map number 1 of Oregon, which last week I touched on. the underutilization of that utility. They weren't using the soft destruction to really breach all effectively. So if they implement the utility properly, I don't have a problem with it. It's just, are they going to be able to do so? On kitchen service, there's a couple different ways you can attack this site. You can go through probably the most popular one, which is push through Sunrise and take over the main hallway for courtyard and be wary of flanks above, or you can actually go for a full roam clear topside, rip up the floor, and displace those anchors instead. So now the defense holding inside of kitchen service for Motiv8, like Ty pointed out, could have been on match point right now if it hadn't been for the throw inside of VIP that will probably go down in history, as Jay was able to clutch that out, but nonetheless still a 4-3 advantage in favor of Motiv8 as the attack for Devious try to position themselves and decipher which avenue of attack they'd like to go for. Popping open the bathroom hatch, it looks like Devious are initially attempting to go for a top clear. They're gonna have Book to deal with on that vigil, and I believe Talon's been rotating up and down the cool vibe stairs. Kush as well playing inside a theater with a couple punch holes in the wall. So a very heavy roaming presence topside as the push is coming back in through hookah.
Yep, so a little bit of VIP window play will go back and forth, resulting in a little bit of damage, but nothing much. Minute down off the board. A lot of engaging, but no bullets finding their mark. Because now we've kind of have a little bit of a stand-up, and a beautiful C4 by Billboard will take out Jay, the clutch meister of that round where Motiv8 should have won. Book will be forced into the bathroom. He'll try to peek out and see somebody in VIP, but he is just too surrounded. Judah will get the headshot, evening the numbers out. Half the round still to play. Anthony getting a kill of his own, bringing it to a 3v4. And now they have full control of this penthouse. Holes being opened up in the floor by Cookies. A very dangerous game he's playing. Some shots will rain down on top of him, but not connect. 3v4 still. A couple of weak attackers. Judah about a third health. And just some random spray by these defenders up through the floor will continue trying to get anything up onto these attackers and now have full control of the site above them. A shotgun hole will get opened up right under one of the attackers' feet. Fortunately, that is not a fully openable hole. The thermite will start opening the wall here on the side of delivery, forcing Cookies back into kitchen. Only 40 seconds now left to play. So here we go. 30 seconds now. Not a lot of action. The attackers are going to be forced to move in. Talon will get a kill on to Anthony, bring it to a 3v3. A lot of action incoming. Cookies will get one. And just like that, Cookies with a triple kill to finish it off and bring Motiv8 one step closer now on match point.
Wow. Wow. I think it could have been over as well if they hadn't thrown. I'm going to keep going back to that because it's a good well to keep going to.
I think you should. I think they absolutely should have won it by now.
Nonetheless, Motiv8 looking a lot better on the defense now, and that roam clear once again coming out from Devious. It takes a little while, but then their collapse onto site was pretty rough. The flank by Talon through CCTV goes undetected. I guess not many flank drones in place for the dead attacker to watch of Jay. And unfortunately for Devious, they now stand with their backs against the wall. Now, however, we have seen this, I believe, what was it? Yeah, it was Oregon. Same situation. Motiv8 was up 5-3 on Oregon, and Devious were able to pull it back 5-5, push overtime until losing consecutive rounds in overtime to drop map number 1. So this is not out of reach by any stretch of the imagination. I'm sure in Motiv8's head, the thrown around inside VIP is very fresh and very raw. It does not make them feel too great that if they do bring this back and lose Coastline in overtime,
if that happens,
they could have had it.
Yeah, if that happens, that is going to haunt their dreams tonight. But I will say that Motiv8 is doing exactly what they didn't do on the last map, but I talked about it the last map where they were relying on plays by individuals to win them the rounds, and only in a massive clutch moments were they able to win their 2 rounds last map. This round, if you look at the kill spread, it's a very even count, a lot of crossfire, a lot of refragging being done when one of their teammates goes down. So it is a complete 180 from what I saw last map as far as the team coordination is concerned.
So, Devious now angling themselves to be going for a theater stairs take and breaching in through behind the theater wall, electing to not really deal with that VIP hold that's been pretty effective thus far at containing the attackers on one specific side of the map, as well as this roam game. Talon has a castle barricade on the hookah door now, and 2 attackers coming in through Aquarium, trying to spray on some old pings that had spotted Talon on a drone. He'll rotate away back to safety and keep this threat from behind fresh in the minds of Devious. Concussion mines going out from the lifeline, not going to land. It's going to signal that Talon has backed off. He's actually gone all the way downstairs, even going for a rotation, and he can decimate this attack if he properly comes up those theater stairs and catches these attackers off guard.
Yep, so about a minute and a half off the board. The attackers are now closing in on the outskirts of the site. The roam game going on downstairs, 1 in bathroom, 1 at the base of main stairs. Ash could get snuck up on as the Elysian again begins to approach the bottom of stairs. He will creep up these stairs, just seeing the head. Yes, he will indeed secure the kill, but not before Anthony takes Billboard out. A little bit of a gunfire ensues yet again on the stairs. Judo on that thermite will get taken down. Detox will get a kill on the cookies. Not sure where that thermite is downed at or if they are safe. I'm assuming so because they haven't been killed. Oh, actually right there. He will begin to get picked back up as the rest of the attackers cover it, and he will successfully be picked back up. A C4 will get completely botched and thrown into the corner. Judo will get a kill onto Book, so only Talon, very weak. He'll get 1, but Jay will get Talon on the Claymore. Kush downstairs will get a double kill. Still 2 more to find. 40 seconds left. I'm not sure if the diffuser is getting planted or if the remaining attackers are holding an angle, knowing exactly where he is. He will crawl up the top of these stairs, and yes, the diffuser will get planted into the penthouse site. And now it is all up to Kush to take it. He does have full health, but nope, Jay will find his head and end him with 1 bullet. And now Devious 1 step closer to tying this match up. Motiv8 will have 1 more opportunity on match point.
So Book did the right thing, which was cover Talon on the flank up the theater stairs, sorry, as he was in a Lamborghini lobby as well. Runs out the Lamborghini doorway, downs Judo the thermite, but unable to secure the kill on the run and gets traded out as he was detected. Unfortunate position to be in, and I forget who it was, but the Thatcher going frag chasing downstairs to try and secure the kill onto Kush. Almost threw that away for Devious, but Kush unable to secure the 1v2, like we touched on. 1 round away from sending this to overtime, in which case anything can happen. There is it's a large precedent here of overtime rounds being very unpredictable and things going back and forth. And if only Motiv8 hadn't thrown that VIP round, it could be an entirely different story. We could be out of here, and so could Motiv8 with a 2-0 record.
Yeah, not having to sweat it out anymore. They could be kicking back, enjoying a nice cool glass of lemonade or whatever the heck it is you kids do these days. just playing. Either way, this will be their last chance to close it out before being forced into a minimum 2-round overtime. Will be a win-by-2 situation, and the tide seemingly turning. Hopefully, Motiv8 can close it out right here. Otherwise, Devious might have a really, really good shot at closing this out for themselves. Remember, this is map number 3, folks. You can see the score at the very top of your screen. The 1 and the 1 means that they are 1 map apiece. So whoever wins this map will win the series. And here we go. 30 seconds off the clock. A lot of droning now taking place. I don't think any of the attackers have entered the building quite yet, although over by Hookah, it seems that some of the attackers are now pushing in. Some of the sites still being set up. A lot of people actually in Penthouse. So they will attempt to maybe push any attack coming in the Hall of Fame.
I'm a little fascinated by the Devious setup right now. They are all angling themselves to be going for a VIP and Penthouse wall take once again after the theater wall take was fairly successful. I didn't think they'd commit to something like this on match point so abruptly. I thought maybe they'd go in and make a mid-round read, but instead now they're in a position where they've fully committed all the utility, manpower, and time into obtaining control of VIP. This ping's coming out downstairs on 2 roamers inside of the kitchen and service. It's Kush and I believe Billboard, who might have had that nitro again. The flank coming down the hallway. Twix will cover Kush and take him down. Detox fells Billboard, and now it's down to a 3v5. A rough position to be in for Motiv8 as they're trying to close this thing out. Cookies was the roamer downstairs, accompanied by Billboard. He'll get droned out and try to get back to site as fast as possible. Talon playing in the hallway, trying to stop any rush over towards theater. The plant is going down from the thermite charge. Judo will pull off, and actually he'll get the plant down of the thermite charge, and they're gonna start pushing into site. Cookies with those smoke canisters off-site is a bad position to be him for himself. It's all to book. Cookies on a flank, though, will take down Twix, bringing them within 1 man. 50 seconds on the board. Judo will trade Cookies out. Now it's just the Echo drone to stop the plant, and it's going down by Judo in the back right now. Book trying to get an angle onto anyone inside the bathroom. He does. Drops Jay down to 35 seconds as the plant successfully gets dropped in behind the VIP wall. Talon is going to have to go through this impact hole, and the thermite of Judo will get dropped as he tries to escape. There's still a cover from Anthony way back in VIP, and now the second rotation by Detox rotate all the way outside of VIP balcony. Peeking the window, Anthony will drop Book. I thought it was Talon who got the kill, but now Talon alone in a 1v2. Diffuser is ticking away. Detox is going to go all the way back to the Hall of Fame doorway and wait. He's going to vault in. Talon drops Anthony down to a 1v1, pre-firing the window. Doesn't see the diffuser. He spots it now. He knows he has to get the kill. The time's ticking down. He's almost out of time to clutch this out, and Detox is going to spray in, try and go for the rush up and take him down. He finally lands the shot. Into overtime we head.
Interesting. Almost a clutch out by Talon. Unfortunately, Hay was forced to try and hit the diffuser. No time left. And into overtime we go, and now Devious managing to win, if I'm not mistaken, 3 consecutive rounds, or maybe not. Maybe it's 2 consecutive rounds. Either way, Devious at a pretty hefty deficit, able to bring it back, and a great job by them so far. And so, yes, we are in overtime. We will at least see 2 additional rounds if somebody manages to win them both. And just like we have mentioned in the past, because this isn't the first time we've seen overtime today, once you enter overtime, the role swap is changed to 2 instead of 5. So the teams that you see, one side attacking, one side defending, that will swap after 2 rounds. The first team that manages to get 2 rounds above the other team will be declared the winner, and that will be the entire match, not just this particular map, as we are on map number 3.
Motiv8, we're in position to lock this thing out a couple times. We've seen this movie before on Oregon. We know how it ended back then. I'm curious to see if history will repeat itself or if we'll have a new victor in overtime for Devious to take the match after, like we said, Motiv8 had victory in their hands and threw it all away. Now heading into overtime. They are attacking and they're bringing out Talon on that Montaigne strat once again. Double ACOGs being brought out for both the Frenchman and Detox and Judo, the Rook and the Doc. A Nitro Cell, most likely, on behalf of Jay on the Valkyrie and the smoke canisters, to try and dispel any kind of push in with that shield. They want to stop getting that plant down in 90 seconds, which has been the game plan of Motiv8 every attack round.
Capital, not realizing that the Hall of Fame door was open, kind of aims down it once he realizes it after taking a couple shots at the window into VIP. So he'll get return fire through the soft walls. The entirety of those walls, sight lines opened up. So not just a traipse into VIP that must be droned out and intel must be gathered before they can feel safe entering into VIP, which is seemingly the plan. Some of the attackers back off, though. One works his way over towards bathroom hatch. Jay and a teammate will work their way downstairs towards the server room. Jay will see the shield. He'll take a couple of shots at him, not do any damage. The shield's kind of solo at the front door right now. Not sure if he's intended to be a distraction or not.
Yeah, Talon pushing alone as that Montaigne. Is he flank holding Lambo as a Montaigne? That is a fascinating decision if that's really what they're intending to do. as progress upstairs has slowed down a little bit. Now, Cookies, as that Thermite is going to be repelling above the theater stairs window. It looks like, yeah, the EMP is coming out from Book as he's rotated all the way around through luggage, and Motiv8 seemingly positioning themselves for a VIP take initially, have rotated all the way around and are going to breach open the theater wall with more than a minute left on the board. The first EOD goes out from Billboard to halt all defenders in their place. Anthony will get spotted for just a second inside of sight. Book covering luggage for any kind of flank, as we did see the Jay and Twix double roam.
Oh,
Anthony
no.
team killing Detox. Fascinating, but Jay with a quick peek around the corner from CCTV hallway will drop Book. Now Talon as that shield flank hold. Interesting call, still working out for them. Judo falls to Billboard from the big window out on the terrace. Flashbangs coming in to burn the ADS and distract the defenders. 35 seconds on the board. Smoke bolt's going to be coming out from Kush. Disrupt that vision and try to start to get a plant down. Smoke canister on behalf of Anthony. Get launched out. A flank by Twix. Oh my god. Cookies land your shot. Jay with a double with the Nitro and the MPX. It's all up to Billboard now. Jay was detected by that EOD, but Billboard in no position to secure that frag. He's still repelled out on the big window. 15 seconds left on the board, and they're covering Diffuser at the top of theater stairs. Billboard repels in, taking pre-fires in. Just missed the shot onto Anthony, who ducked away. Laying prone in the hallway is Jay's that Valkyrie. 5 seconds on the board, and Motiv8 are going to be down another round up against the wall. Anthony peeks up from behind the couch. Match point, series point, favor Devious.
It was so heartbreaking to see that that very carefully planned attack fall apart. Talon was sitting on the landing of those stairs, making sure that nobody could easily rotate up the stairs, and unfortunately his teammates that should have been watching his back didn't catch the Jaeger popping out of luggage hall. The Jaeger killed the shield. They refragged the Jaeger, but by that time, that gave Valkyrie the all clear to run up the stairs because the shield wasn't a threat anymore, get that double kill, and completely devour that hold from the attack on that specific location. So a very well-executed destruction of that hold by the attackers in that spot, and now we have Devious for the first time on match point.
Yeah, we are seeing the results of a throw of pretty massive proportions backfire wholeheartedly onto Motiv8. I'm gonna keep going back to that because they could have had a 2-0 start to the league already had that round gone in their favor, and how everything had transpired post that round. Now, once again, bringing the same operators on the attack, and I mean, okay, I'm going to stop nagging the shield play. It's at least being a distraction now, invading out some utility. It's not being used perfectly, but it's not being used terribly. It's just there. Talon's just there, and we're fine with it, and we're going to move on.
Yeah, the one thing that I can't get over is, like, this is a pro league caliber team, right? They've proven it. They've been there. They've done that. Not a lot of competitive experience on the other side, but a very good group of kids. And one thing that I notice, and I've noticed this with other teams too, is when stuff's not working, right, they're still not changing the operators. We noticed that a lot last game, the first game of the night that we saw. Right, and we talked about it. Polar Ace, like, not changing their strategy at all, not changing their operator lineup in any method, even though they were getting smashed on a particular site. And it just, even you see Motiv8 kind of doing the same thing. They're not getting smashed, of course, but they're, you know, if something doesn't work once, they're not going to change the operator lineup. Thankfully, Cookie's able to shut down the peek out by Jaeger. Twix will get a kill, though, with the Bandit MP7. And now a 4v4. Still tons of time left to work with. Twix just a tiny bit of health. The shield and the thermite both weak as well.
Two defenders coming down the hallway. Judah will claim one victim in Cookies. That's the thermite off the board. He's already breached open one hole. Now halfway through the round. Man advantage in favor of Devious to send this home after they had their backs up against the wall for multiple rounds consecutively. Jay playing in behind this deployable shield placed facing the Sunrise bar. And now Billboard lighting up some shots as pre-fires in, but the Motiv8 attack with 70 seconds left have stalled out. They're halting their position. Talon is just chilling inside a Lambo, And Kush now, as the second EOD will go out. Another smoke grenade going to repel Talon from getting in as he loses his own in the process. Kush going to be jumping in, hitting a Lesion Mine, going to try and set up for the plant right up against the hard wall in the bathroom wall. Talon is trying to cover, pushing in, absorbs half a Nitro Cell, gets down and finished off by Twix from behind. He's coming in for the flank from CCTV. It's down to a 2v4. A 1v4 now as Kush gets downed inside of sight. It's all up to Billboard with no more EODs left. 3 flashbangs in hand to try and stall out the plant, or sorry, the diffuse disable. Now Billboard at the kitchen window is going to hop in behind. He's going to give away his position with the goo trap. Lights up Jay, finishes him off, but Judo and Jay will get the kills, and Devious bring it back from the jaws of defeat and win 7-5 in overtime and 2-1 a final map score.
That was indeed a brutal ending for Motiv8, and not a lot to celebrate there. As you know, that play from Jay, that 2K clutch at the end there, just did not work out in the favor of Motiv8, and because of that, Devious were able to bring it back and take the series 2-1. So congratulations to that. Congratulations to Devious. And I don't know. It was a crazy game. I mean, what do you think specifically about the ending there? About how Devious managed to bring it back in such a manner?
I talked about on Consulate how it wasn't Motiv8 beating themselves. I don't really feel that way about Coastline. I feel like Motiv8 were really digging their heads into the sand and trying to force this Montaigne down the throats, and it was decent at times, but it was repelled too easily by smoke canisters. They only ever had one breach point. They tried to push in from multiple positions, but they kept getting gunned down by letting down their guard on flanks. You know, you saw even in that last round, Twix coming in and picking up 2 kills on a flank. You also had the Jaeger and the Lesion holding at the top of the hallway from Sunrise Bar all the way down the Courtyard Hall to Lambeau entryway. Like,